Reach the Stretch Internet Broadcast Studio. Please enter your 4-digit code now. Your code has been accepted. Your broadcast will begin in 5 seconds.
Welcome back to Grover C. Redford Gymnasium as we get set for game number 2 of the evening. In the first game tonight, the Mount Mercy women defeated Missouri Valley, and here we go, the Vikings and Mount Mercy men. This should be a good ball game. Aaron Jennings, the head coach of Mount Mercy, a first-year team in the league, and of course Chad Lance, the head coach of the Vikings. The Vikings come in 3-1 in conference play. Mount Mercy 1-3, but as we said before the women's game, Joe All, forget that record. Mount Mercy, welcome to the Heart of America Conference. We'll start you off with basketball with CMU, Mid-American Nazarene, William Penn, and Missouri Valley and Evangel, your first 5 games. Welcome.
Well, and interesting you talk about those 3 schools you mentioned, Central Methodist, Mid-America, William Penn. They're 3 of the better teams, it sounds like, in both the men's and the women's conference.
So they had to play both of those. The head coach is Aaron Jennings, and Joe caught up with him just moments ago.
Hey, chatting now with Mount Mercy men's coach Aaron Jenkins. Coach, probably your first trip to Marshall. Welcome to the Heart of America Conference.
Yep, absolutely. It's we've had you get right into it. 26 conference games. We're struggling right now in another road game, but we got to come in playing against a good opponent.
Well, you guys are 1-3. You got a nice win over Evangel, but that record's deceiving. You lost to Central Methodist, Mid-American, William Penn, 3 pretty good teams.
3 excellent teams, but the thing that I'm learning is that everybody in this conference is an excellent team. All so well coached. When you talk to these different coaches, you see the passion in their voice. You see that, they know what they're doing and they know how to coach, and that their teams are going to be very well prepared.
Coach, your team's averaging 88 points a game, but you're giving up 99.
Yeah, we've definitely got to change something on the defensive end. We've got to be able to slow down a little bit and play more as a team. We've got to be five guys playing defense together to get the job done.
Coach, what are your keys tonight?
Well, defense is definitely one of them. We can't give up 99, but really playing with toughness. We know how physical Missouri Valley can be, how good of an offensive rebounding team they are. And so we've got to make sure that we're not getting knocked around, that we showed up today to play tough, be strong, and finish.
All right, so there you have the comments of Aaron Jennings in his, I believe, his second year at Mount Mercy. They come in with a record of 2-4, but again, they have played some of the heavyweights in the Heart of America Conference. So it's been a tough go for them early on, but I think they'll be right there. And I think what he said is pretty true, Joe. I don't care who you play in this conference. They're all going to be tough. This is a tough league.
And I think Coach Jennings has been impressed. And I got to apologize. I think I called him Aaron Jenkins in the interview. He's a pretty good big guy. He could have banged me in the top of the head. And I'd be hurting for a long time. But he told me he played college ball at Northwestern. And he looks like a pretty good player. And he's got a good team. I mean, like you say, that record's deceiving. And they put a lot of points on the board, averaging right at 90.
Averaging 90, but as you point out, give up 99.7.
Yeah.
So Chad said, well, they play kind of a Princeton offense. Well, I would assume a Princeton offense was a slow offense, but he says, no, they kind of do that. They'll backdoor you, and then they're going to take off. So this could be a high-flying game tonight. It could be fun.
It could be. This should be a good ball game. And the Vikings a chance to go 4-1 in conference play. That'd be one of the best starts they've had in many a moon if they can pull that off.
And, of course, this is a 3-game week as we have Evangel in Springfield on Thursday night, and then we will be back here on the Saturday game. That will be against Mid-American Nazarene. So, boy, some big games coming up, and then CMU the Saturday after that, after finals, to wrap up the first half of the season, if you will, the 2016 portion of the season. I had a chance to visit with the head coach Chad Lance a few moments ago.
Chad Lance joins us for this ball game. One of the newcomers in the conference, Mount Mercy. Coach, before we talk about them, let's talk about your last game on Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I thought you really played well against Baker.
Yeah, they try to do some things to us defensively. I always say, me and Baker's coach, Coach Dooley, we talk about that when us two play each other, we take basketball back 10 years. And because it becomes a fist fight and, a lot of fouls and A lot of guys shooting free throws, but they jumped on us early, and I think there was like 8 or 9 different lead changes, and we got down as many as 8, and our guys stayed the course, and we figured out a way to win.
But, it's so important in this conference to win those home games, isn't it?
It is. We talk about it exclusively every year, and I know I talk about it on the radio, is, to be able to contend, you got to be able to take care of home court and sneak up on people on the road.
How about this Mount Mercy team? They're a newcomer to the conference. I'm watching them warm up. They've got some big guys.
Yeah, definitely. They're long. They're athletic. They do a very good job of running the Princeton offense. They try to keep the floor elevated and try to get you into some backdoor situations. And they want layup or three, so they're averaging about 10 made threes and attempting 28 a game.
When you play a team like that, then they're going to run that shot clock down. Is it hard to stay patient sometimes and stay with it?
Well, they're a little more aggressive. They're averaging 88 points a game, so they're the second leading scoring team in our conference. So they play a little faster out of it. They deviate away from the Princeton offense. They may only get 2 sides, and they've got some guards that are pretty athletic, and they're going to try to drive you because all the help is basically above the free throw line.
Well, they're 1-3 in conference. Forget that. They've played Mid-America. They played Central Methodist. They played William Penn. So just forget that record.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you look at some guys that come in with a winning record or quote unquote a losing record. It really has nothing to do with anything. You got to play the game that's in front of you, and hopefully we're the best team in the gym tonight.
Coach, let's go get them. Busy week, 3 games. Let's get it started with one tonight.
All right, I appreciate it.
All right, so there you have Chad Lance. We've talked to both coaches, and now we're about ready for basketball. Here are the starting lineups. First of all, for the Mustangs of Mount Mercy, their leading scorer is Ben Struss, a 6'6 senior, and he is out of Cedar Rapids, so he is a local product. Chris Ford, a 6'4" senior. He is out of Bronx, New York. C.J. Parker, a 6'5 senior. He's out of Chicago. Derek Gogg, a 6'9 senior. Gogg is out of Marion, Iowa. And then Jake Anderson in the starting lineup. Anderson from Mexico, Missouri. He played at Mexico High School, also played at Moberly Area Community College, and now he is at Mount Mercy, and he is in the starting lineup. The Vikings will go with Brody Gronwald. Gronwald, of course, out of Carthage, a senior. Vikings leading scorer, 13.2 points a game. Tim Washington out of Chicago, a 6'2 junior, 12.2 points a game for him. Remy Price runs the show from the point, 11 points a game, the 5'11 junior. He's also out of Chicago. Bobby Collins out of St. Louis, a 6'3 sophomore. And then I believe Romeo Smith gained a start tonight. Romeo, a 6'7 junior, and he also is out of Chicago. So that's the starting lineup tonight. Vikings in their home gray with the orange numerals and those bright, most of them wearing either gray or orange tennis shoes, and the Mount Mercy Mustangs in the dark blue uniform with the gold numerals, the white and gold trim. So we're about ready to go. Joe, you better get ready. I think this is going to be fast and furious.
Yeah, it's kind of deceiving. You talk about Princeton. That's kind of a slow down offense where they do a lot of backdoor screens and, very patient. But this team, like we said, scores almost 90 points a game. So either they run a very fast Princeton style or shoot the ball very well, one or the other, or both.
Yeah, I was thinking when I first thought it, I was thinking about a very slow-paced offense, kind of like Princeton with the teams we thought. Not quite the case.
No, I don't think so.
All right, Joe, you've got the first half.
Well, the Vikings come in at 3-1 in conference play. Mount Mercy comes in at 1-3, but the Mustangs, as we said, have played a very tough schedule. And we're about ready to jump it up. Looks like it's going to be Romeo Smith for the Vikings, and Jake Anderson, the Mexico product, look like he's going to tee it up for Mount Mercy, just about underway. And in case you missed it, Mount Mercy won the girls' game. They won it by a score of 68-57, but the men's game's underway, and the Vikes control the opening tap. It's Bobby Collins, Remy Price, Tim Washington, Romeo Smith, and Brody Gronwald on the floor. And Tim Washington right to the rack, up and in. And Tim, who had a big game against Baker last week, takes up where he left off, gets the game's first bucket. Good drive to the basket.
Well, we saw him not play well at Peru, but other than that, he has been a mainstay for this team offensively.
Left wing, it comes over to Chris Ford. Ford around the screen, lob on the right wing. That's a man you got to cover. That's Struss. Now inside, a jump shot, and that's a big guy, Derek Gogg. Derek Gogg gets inside. He's a senior out of Marion, Iowa. He buries a short jumper, ties the game up at 2. Washington, stop and go dribble, back to Remy. Remy, head of the key, Gronwald. Brody back to Washington on the right wing. Washington goes baseline up, left this one short, but he's whacked on the drive. So Tim Washington, 2 straight times. Timmy's taking the ball right to the rack. He draws the foul, and that foul is going to come up on Derek Gogg. That's the first foul of the game. That'll be a 2-shot foul for Tim Washington, who is a junior out of Bellwood, Illinois. Tim's first shot in the air, got it. So Tim scored the first 3 points for the Vikings. He'll try to give them a 2-point lead if he can knock down this second. Second one in the air, got them both. So nice job by TW. And now the Vikings put some pressure on in the backcourt. Looks like a 2-2-1 zone press. Oh, they get it ahead. Nice job into Anderson. Anderson with a flip shot, good. So nice job breaking the press that time by the Mustangs. They get it ahead to Mexico's Jake Anderson. He ties the game at 4. Gronwald, right wing, Remy Price. Remy right in front of the Mount Mercy bench. Wraparound pass. Romeo misses a shot inside. Romeo Smith, here come the Stag. Going quickly to the basket. And how fast, a nice block that time, but how fast did Chris Ford get that ball down the court?
And Remy Price was there to meet him and block the shot. Good job by Remy.
So Chris Ford to inbound. Gets it in the corner, outside to Gogg. Gogg with the left-hand dribble, hands back to C.J. Parker. Parker Ford over on the left wing to Strauss. Inside, ball knocked away by Gronwald. Now Brody takes it away. And Brody bounces it off the legs of one of the Mustangs. So nice hustle that time by the senior, Brody Gronwald out of Carthage, Illinois. Forces the turnover. Vikes get it back. We're tied at 4. As we said, this Mount Mercy team gives up 99 points a game, but they score almost 90. A high-scoring offense and defense. Price over to Washington. Washington puts up a 3 off the left side. This one's strong, and I think they're going to call a foul on Bobby Collins. Bobby over the back on the rebound, so Bobby Collins picks up the first foul for the Vikings. And the game tied at 4. We played 2 minutes. It'll be Mount Mercy's ball in backcourt. There's that 2-2-1 trap again, and they get a steal. Collins got the steal, Price got the steal, but couldn't control it, stepped out of bounds with it. So Mount Mercy, Ken, I like to see that press. A 2-2-1's kind of a soft press. You just kind of cut off the passing lanes and get a few turnovers out of it.
And the Vikings have the quickness to do that.
They get it into Ford. Ford will dribble. He'll try to dribble right through the middle. He goes right through a double team, gets the ball into the forecourt for Mount Mercy. Struss, lob inside. They're going to call a hold, I think, on Romeo Smith as he grabs hold of Derek Gogg. So Romeo Smith picks up his first foul. So it'll be Mount Mercy's ball out of bounds under their own basket. Now they get it outside to Anderson. Anderson skip pass over to Struss. Ford thinks about a 3. Now fakes it, gives it back to C.J. Parker. He puts a 3 up. This one rolls around the rim and kicks off. Rebound, Tim Washington. Gronwald, deep 3. Got it. Brody Gronwald's first shot of the game. Ken, it's good to see him get his first one down.
Yeah, he gets hot. If he gets hot and gets that confidence going, it could be an excellent night for him.
Vikes lead at 7-4 here in the early going against a good Mount Mercy team. Struss. Back to Ford. Ford fakes a 3. Now tries to lob it inside. And I think they're going to call a holding foul on Tim Washington, I believe, as Tim grabbed hold of one of the inside players from Mount Mercy. So Washington picks up his first foul. That'll be team foul number 3 on the Vikings. And Devontae Halfacre checks into the lineup.
He had been starting, but not tonight. Romeo Smith started in his place tonight.
Devontae, a junior out of St. Louis. Now a jump hook inside by Anderson. Missed it. Tim Washington grabs his second rebound of the game. Ahead to Remy Price. Remy. Nowhere to go. Back out to Gronwald. Pretty good man-to-man defense. There's a deep 3 by Brody. Got another one. I think maybe the man is feeling it tonight is Brody Gronwald. 2 deep 3s, nothing but net. He scored the last 6 points to put the Vikings up by 6.
Aaron Jennings probably saying, I heard of this guy when we got into the conference.
Now wraparound pass in. Oh, almost taken away. Good hustle that time by Remy Price as he got in there, got a hand on the ball, almost got the steal, but couldn't quite control it. So it'll still be Mustang ball with 16:41 to go in the first half.
30 seconds on the shot clock. They're going to have to change that. I don't think it was a shot, so they won't reset that.
For the Vikings, we've got Gronwald, Washington, Bobby Collins, Remy Price, and Devontae Halfacre. Those are the 5 on the floor right now. Now the officials don't have any idea how much time's on the shot clock. They're going to take a stab at it, I think.
Take a stab at it. I'm trying to think out what was all going on there. They came down and had the ball for a little while. Well, now. And now they're getting over to Andy Polverenti trying to.
Let's say give him 5 seconds.
Trying to find.
Give him 5 seconds. That'll be plenty.
Somebody come in and say, we'll give you 7 or 8 seconds. They're going to give 15. So Andy Polverenti, the SID, said about 15 seconds. They went with his word.
All right, inbound, they get it in. Nice pass inside to C.J. Parker. He goes up and scores. So a nice pass as Chris Ford finds his backcourt running mate, C.J. Parker, underneath the basket. Parker lays it in, and he's going to be fouled, and that foul is going to come up on Tim Washington. On Brody Gronwald. So that'll be the 4th foul on the Vikings. 4 different guys have 1 foul each.
Well, they could have given 2 seconds on the shot clock as quickly as that pass went in.
They didn't need much, did they? Shot by Parker, hits the back of the rim and misses. No, a steal right now. A steal in the backcourt by Jake Anderson.
Took it away from Halfacre.
As he took it away from Devontae, got the slam, slammed it home. He's got 4. Cuts a 6-point Viking lead down to 2. Now the Vikings turn it over on the other end. So, boy, I tell you, the Vikings on those 2 trays by Brody Growald built up a 10-4 lead, but now a great inbounds play by Mount Mercy, a steal off the inbounds, and then a turnover by the Vikings, and Mount Mercy can tie it with a basket. Now they turn around, throw it away on the other end. So I guess turnabout's fair play.
Both teams turning the ball over, 16-10 to go. Blake Murdoch comes in for the Mustangs.
Murdoch comes in, I believe C.J. Parker sits down.
And we talk about the women having that long trip. The men had that long trip, and then they had to sit around for about 3 hours before they played.
I'd say they're good and tired by now. Now Grodwald fakes a 3, and he's going to be fouled by Murdoch as Brody put the ball on the deck, took it right towards the basket. Murdoch grabbed him on the way by as Chisholm Obanecki and Kyle Hickey get set to check in for the Vikings. Bobby Collins and Tim Washington will sit down.
Kyle Hickey, he was on that team that went to the national tournament a couple of years ago.
Remy Price outside. Remy head of the key, guarded by Chris Ford. Now gets it on the right. Boy, and I mean Murdoch's right in Brody Gronwald's face, and now forces a steal. Here comes Murdoch the other way. Hands it over to Struss. Now back to Ford. Good ball movement by the Mustang. Down low to Gog, picked up by Halfacre. Gog tries to spin. Now comes back, puts it up and in. Nice move. As that time Derek Gog came to the middle and spun back with the left hand, put it off the glass. And we're tied at 10 with 15 and a half left to play in the half. Now Murdoch gets his second fouls once again. Kid, it looks like he wants to guard Brody Growald like a blanket. He wants to stay on top, but Brody pretty quick, and Brody's coaxed him into 2 quick fouls. Now Murdoch's going to come out, and Sean Bedford, a senior out of Converse, Texas, comes into the Mount Mercy lineup. Halfacre, Devontae with a left-hand hook up and in. Where'd that shot come from? Devontae Halfacre put up a half hook that time and knocked it down. There's a 3, and it just like that, Mount Mercy regains the lead. This doesn't look like Princeton's offense to me.
No, that's Struss.
Struss hit that. Ben Struss, the leading scorer on his team. Now Halfacre into the bucket. Oh, and a nice tip that time. I'm going to give that one to Obanecki. Yeah. I think Chisholm Obanecki tips that one in for the Vikings. So
steal.
And now the Vikes get a turnover. Here comes Gronwald. Over to Price. Remy to the rack. Left it short. Now Kyle Hickey gets a steal. Good hustle by Hickey out of Fort Worth, Texas. Back outside to Grohl. Boy, this is fast-paced right now. I mean, they are just flying up and down the court. Now Gronwald's going to come out. Tim Washington back into the lineup. Vikings will inbound under their own bucket. They lead it by a point, 14-13, 14 and a half left to play in the half. Remy Price looking, gets it into Obanecki. Now Remy gets a return pass, now drives in, throws it up with the right hand and got it. So a nice take as Price made the inbound pass, came around a screen, got a return pass, and flipped it in with the right hand to give the Vikings a 3-point lead. Oh, nice cut that time. Nice backdoor cut by a new player in the game. That's Emilio Villagrana. As Villagrana cuts backdoor, gets his first basket. And folks, you blink here, you might miss 2 or 3 baskets.
Yeah, this is Princeton style on steroids.
Yeah, I've never seen Princeton play quite like this.
On steroid Princeton basketball.
Jumper by Halfacre. Got it. Got the roll as Devontae's come off the bench and scored 4 quick points. As Devontae knocks down a 15-foot jumper, lead back up to 3. Pass inside. Now they're going to call Derek Gogg. They're going to say Gogg shuffled the feet on the takeoff. So Gogg whistled for the violation. Vikes get the ball back up by 3. Gronewald back into the lineup.
Josh Williams will come in for Mount Mercy, and also Chris Brown.
Okay, C.J. Parker also back into the lineup. Here comes Hickey across the timeline. Kyle hands back to Brody. Brody stop and go dribble. Halfacre back to Brody. Brody fakes a deep 3. Now puts up a runner, and he's going to be hammered on the drive by Emilio Villagrana. As Villagrana crashes into Growell. Nice job, Ken. Yep. They covered him on the 3, so he took it inside to the rack. So nice job that time by Brody. They're going to say that was a shooting foul, so Grodwald will be on the line for 2 free throws. He's knocked down a couple of triples as the Vikes lead it with 13 and a half minutes left to play in the half. They lead it by 4 as Grodwald knocks down the first.
Brody now with 7 points.
Brody will have one more. Romeo Smith back in, and Halfacre. Devontae did a good job when he was in there. He had 4 big points and really kind of established the middle for the Vikings. Gronewald's second free throw, bingo, so Brody knocks down both. Biggest lead of the game for the Vikings. They lead it by 5. Bedford. Bedford hands outside to Villagrana. Now back to Parker. Villagrana back to Bedford. Bedford around a screen. Into the corner. Jump shot off the right wing by Villagrana. No good. Nice rebound, Kyle Hickey. Kyle wants to run. Here he comes the other day. Pulls up at the free throw line and knocks it down. Nice job by Hickey. Ran the floor, pulled up at the free throw line, didn't try to force the issue, pulled up and knocked it down. A 7-point Viking lead. Parker, head of the key to Bedford. Bedford high post. It goes into Williams. Shot missed. Rebound Parker underneath, up and in. So C.J. Parker gets the offensive rebound. Give him 4 points. And like I say, Ken, don't blink. You're going
to miss something.
You miss 3 baskets if you take a good blink. 22-17, Missouri Valley leads it. Gronewald underneath Romeo, and Romeo gets hammered. I thought maybe for a minute they're going to call a travel on Romeo, but I think somebody made contact before he traveled. And that foul is going to come up on Chris Brown. So that'll be his first. That's team foul number 5 on Mount Mercy.
Still 12-19 to go in the half.
Vikings lead at 22-17. They've got the ball. Obanecki, head of the key to Hickey. Kyle with the left-hand dribble. Picked up by Williams. Gronewald deep on the left wing. Hands back to Hickey. Now Hickey brings it out right around the Viking in midcourt. Down to 16 on the shot clock. Kyle has it knocked away but gets it back. Washington fakes a 3. Now a deep 3. Head of the key. Washington, good! Tim Washington feeling it now. I've got him with 7. Vikings lead it by 8 here at home, trying to go 4-1 in conference play in this very tough, very tightly jammed Heart of America men's race. Parker, I think, got away with a walk that time. Nice pass inside to Williams, and Williams goes up over a double team, and Josh Williams draws the foul. He'll be on the line for 2 shots.
That may be on Romeo, his second. They're going to call it an Obanecki.
Obanecki, Chisholm gets a foul. So the Vikings, that's their 15th foul. I guess that's not good, but the good thing is 5 different players have 1 foul each, so nobody in foul trouble. Blake Murdoch has 2 fouls for Mount Mercy. And the first shot by Williams, Josh Williams misses the first. He's a senior out of Aurora, Illinois. They list him at 6'6". He'll have 1 more shot here. 8-point Viking lead. Vikes have gotten out of the blocks pretty quickly here this evening. Second shot by Williams. Pinball's out, no good. So Williams misses both. Vikes can make it a double-digit lead with the basket here. Washington. Yo-yo's outside. Now back to Hickey. Over to Gronwald. Deep 3 by Brody. A little bit out of his range that time, I think. That was almost at the scorer's table. Struss. Back to Parker. Underneath. Now the ball thrown away.
Tried to get a pass on the baseline to Williams, and he wasn't expecting it. Went off his hands out of bounds.
So Vikes get it back. Another chance to try to make this a double-digit game as Darryl Lemire, the junior out of Manor, Texas, checks into the game for the first time for Missouri Valley. Romeo Smith comes out. So for the Vikings, it's Collins, Washington, Hickey, Gronwald, and Lemire. Washington on the left wing. Timmy thinks about a 3. Now spins to the head of the key. Stop and go. Yo-yo's inside. Gets it inside to Collins. Bobby had it stripped. Nice steal that time by Parker. Ahead to Ford, up and in. Woo. Got something in my eye. I think I missed the last 3 baskets.
Wow.
25-19. Vikings lead it nearing the halfway point of the first half as Derek Gogg gets set to check back in for Mount Mercy. Gronwald. Return pass. Deep 3 by Hickey off the left side. Hits the front of the rim and misses. That's going to be an over-the-back foul on Darryl Lemire on the rebound. That'll be DL's first. That's a 16th foul on the Vikings, so Mount Mercy from this point on will be in the 1-and-1. As Thomas Dillard checks into the Mount Mercy lineup. DeMonte Halfacre back in for the Vikings.
You know, it's a 6-point lead. You may have an 8-point lead, 10-point lead. As many possessions in this game, no lead's really going to be safe.
No, I don't think so. Good job by Mount Mercy to break the press. Now Dillard. Dillard, head of the key. Vikes in his zone right now. Inside, Gogg goes up, and they got basket and 1. I think they're going to call a block. Bobby Collins squared up in the lane, went to the ground, but they're going to say he was not set. Derek Gogg got it inside, put it in the basket, a chance for a bucket and 1 with 10:06 to go. As Gogg can make this a 3-point game. Vikings led by 8 not that long ago.
Yeah, it was an 8-point lead. It said it's down to 4, so, boy, this game just going back and forth.
So
turned you off, partner.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
I couldn't hear myself. 4-point game right now. Gronwald outside. Hickey with a 3. Missed another one. So Kyle's missed his last 2 from beyond the arc, and I think somebody barrels into Darryl Lemire. I think that's going to be a foul on Dillard, maybe. So now both teams will be in the bonus from this point forward as Gogg's going to come out. That's his second foul. Wow. Checking back in is Sean Bedford. Gronwald, boy, gets Ford up in the air. Oh, man, I mean, he had Ford skyrocketed that time, but missed the jump shot. Remy Price, left wing, Lemire. Darryl comes around a Hickey screen, now backs up beyond the arc. Passes it back out to Brody with 18 on the shot clock. Remy Price. Remy goes baseline. Back to Gronwald. And there's going to be a blocking foul. That foul is going to come up, I think, on Dillard. He goes to the ground, but they're going to say he hooked Brody Gronwald as Brody drove right past him. So Dillard Picks up, I think that's his first foul, but let's see.
Yeah, both teams in a 1-on-1 now. That was the 17 foul.
Brody Gronwald to the stripe. Brody 2 out of 2 thus far in the game. He's got 8 points. Make it 9 as Brody knocks down the first one. So he can already move into the double figures category if he can knock down this second shot as Laquan Turner gets set to check in. Now Laquan will come in and looks like Darryl Lemire will come out. Laquan Turner, a senior out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. There's that 2-2-1 press again by the Vikings. Struss. Now they get it inside to Anderson. Deep three by Struss off the left side. Good. And Ben Struss, he averages 15.5 points a game. That's his second triple. Makes it a 3-point game. Price. Over to Turner. Now Gronwald gets it back. Hands to Price. Now back into Turner. Turner comes around a Hickey screen. Laquan inside the lane. Puts up a jump shot. Knocks it down. Nice quick move that time by Laquan Turner. 7 different Vikings have scored so far. Anderson. And they're going to call a foul, I think, on Halfacre. They're going to say Halfacre tripped Jake Anderson that time. I'm not sure if he tripped him or Anderson tripped himself, but Anderson spun to the middle, kind of lost his balance a little bit, and they're going to say that Devontae was at least a contributing factor. So that puts Jake Anderson, the Mexico product, he's a junior, stands at 6'6". He'll have a 1-and-1 right here with 8.5 minutes left to play. First shot, Anderson, short. Rebound, Halfacre. Vikes dodged the bullet there. 29-24, Missouri Valley. Remy Price. Price on the right wing to Turner. Laquan guarded by Bedford, puts up a deep three. Oh, he had it in, missed it. Levante, Halfacre with a rebound, missed the follow shot. Oh, a great offensive rebound by Devontae, just could not get the ball to trickle down through the cords. Dillard inside to Anderson. Anderson goes up strong, throws up one off balance, and he's fouled. And Halfacre is going to be whistled, I think, for his second foul. No way that Jake Anderson was going to hit that shot, but he had the presence to feel the contact and draw the 2-shot foul.
Yeah, he went underneath the basket. He just threw it up, attempted shot, and he earns the free throws.
So Anderson, who just missed one a minute ago, will have 2 right here. First shot is good. So give Anderson 5 points in the game. He averages 5.2, so he's right at his average right now.
That's their first made free throw. They're now 1 out of 6.
Yep. Anderson will have one more. Second shot by the 6'6" junior is no good. Rolls around the rim and lips off. So the Vikings maintain a 4-point lead. Hickey out to Remy Price. Looks like a zone defense now by the Mustangs. Outside to Gronwald. Back to Remy Price with 10 on the shot clock. Romeo. Hickey. Kyle drives in. Left hand flip shot's good. Where'd that shot come from? Kyle Hickey took it down the middle, flipped it up and in with a left hand reverse layup. Good shot. As that shot clock was winding down that time.
Now an offensive foul away from the ball.
They call it on Anderson, I think.
Yep.
Jake Anderson whistled for the offensive foul. That will be his first. That's a non-shooting foul since that was a possession foul. So it'll be the Viking ball. They lead it 31-25. 7 minutes and 27 seconds left to play in what's been a very fast-paced, very well-played first half.
Little zone defense again. They put Struss right out here at the top of the zone.
Remy Price. Good ball movement by the Vikings in the corner to Gronwald. Back to Laquan. Now Remy. Remy inside. Flips it up with the right hand. Rolls around and comes off. Good hustle by the Vikings. A couple bodies go to the floor. Now it comes away to Ford. Here comes Ford all the way to the rack. Wow. Man, how quickly did he get down the floor? And Chris Ford That loose ball on the floor, Chris Ford picked it up, took it coast to coast, and now is that Bobby Collins or Remy Price? Remy Price, I think.
Maybe down on the floor. That's Remy down on the floor.
That's Remy Price on the floor. I don't know if Remy bumped his head or what happened. He and one of the Mount Mercy players went to the floor pretty hard that time. And
yeah, there was a scrum as they went for that loose ball. And officials did the right thing. Nobody had possession, so they didn't stop play. And, of course, once they're on the break, you can't stop play until there's not an advantage. And Ford is as quick as Remy Price. We talk about Price being quick. Ford is just as quick.
He just exploded. And Ford's not very big. They only list him at 6. If he's 6 foot, I'm 6'8".
Yeah, he's not very tall.
He looks to me like he's about 5'7", 5'7", maybe 5'8". But they list him at 6 even.
You know, look at this team from Mount Mercy. If they're 1-3 right now, Evangel's 1-3. I'll tell you what, this is going to be some fun basketball this winter. This is a good team.
I could see the team that wins this conference losing 5 games.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I would not be at all. And, you know, you got to remember, we play, 26 conference games. So we'll have 8 games down by Christmas and be less than a third of the way through the season. All right, Vikings lead at 31-27, just under 7 minutes left to play in the first half as the Vikes try to win their 4th conference game against only 1 loss. Now Gronwald back to Washington. Tim's 3, got another one. And I think Tim Washington's feeling it again tonight as I've got Tim in double figures now with 10 points.
Nice assist by Gronwald.
Lob into Williams. Williams back outside on the right wing. Deep 3 by Struss. Finally missed one. Rebound with Turner, and Laquan went up high that time. Turner wanted to take it coast to coast, but had it taken away by Struss. Look out, here comes Ford, and Ford had it blocked away by Gronwald.
Well, Laquan Turner did the right thing, but probably should have. He got the ball, forced the issue, and then it was 1-on-3. It'd have been wise just to bring it out. He tried to take it in on 3 defenders, and they're quick, and they knocked it away from him.
If nothing else, maybe pull up and take the jump shot. All right, 34-27. Inside to Williams, right wing Struss. Good job by Laquan to pick him up. Nice pad, nice give and go that time as everybody in the gym thought Struss was going to shoot the ball. He flipped it down to Josh Williams, who is wide open. Williams, that's his first bucket, makes it a 5-point game. 6:02 left to play. Williams, Turner wraparound into Romeo. And Romeo, they're going to call Romeo for a travel, say he shuffled his feet on the takeoff, so that'll be a violation against the Vikings.
Yeah, you better be careful these turnovers because as many possessions, again, you're going to have in this game, a 5-point lead is absolutely nothing.
34-29. Mount Mercy has the ball. Backdoor cut by Parker. Oh, man. What passing. Deep 3 by Ford. Missed the shot. Nice rebound by Romeo, and he's going to be fouled by Parker. So a nice hustle that time by Romeo Smith. Got good position on the boards. Was that some nifty passing by Mount Mercy or what?
Yeah, they got it inside to Villagrana, and then he just kind of spun around and flipped it back out for a wide open 3. They fortunately missed it.
Looked like he needed to have Metal Arc Lemon in the middle of that. Looked like the Harlem Globetrotters. Yep.
They were moving the ball.
All right, with a foul. That foul comes up on Parker. That'll put Darryl Lemire on the line for a 1-and-1 as DL makes his first trip to the line of the night. He hasn't scored yet. Vikings with a 5-point lead, 5:39 to go in the half. Let's see if DL can add to that right here. First shot bounces off, no good. The lead stays at 5. Villagrana brings it across, bounce pass to Williams. Ford drives in, flips it up and in, and man, he is quick. Chris Ford now has 6, and he just, once again, just exploded to the basket, as does Tim Washington. Tim Washington explodes on the other end. He missed the shot, and he got fouled. So, I tell you, Tim Washington's starting to really assert himself as an offensive player, getting better and better every game, it looks like to me.
Struss picked up the foul, his first. And that's the 10th team foul, so Washington will shoot a couple.
Tim in double figures already with 10, make it 11 as he knocks down the first free throw. So Tim a perfect 3 out of 3 from the line. He's got 2 triples. He's done it all so far tonight. And he'll try to give the Vikings once again a 5-point lead. Again, Tim Washington, a junior out of Bellwood, Illinois. Got them both. So nice job by Tim. 36-31, Missouri Valley. Again, pretty good crowd here tonight.
Real good crowd here tonight. Of course, the students are back after the break.
Good take that time by Williams as Williams got the ball in the high post, spun to the right, and went right down the lane.
I think Daryl got, was it Daryl Obanecki may have got it.
And Chisholm Obanecki's going to be whistled for the foul. That'll be CO's second foul. And that puts on the line Josh Williams, a senior out of Aurora, Illinois. He'll have 2 shots here as both teams now in the double bonus. And I tell you, Mount Mercy's done themselves no favors from the free throw line. They've hit only 1 free throw all night long.
1 out of 8.
1 out of 8, boy. Not going to average 88 points a game doing that, and he misses both of them. So the Vikings, Williams 0 for 4. Vikes dodge the bullet. It's a 5-point game with 5 minutes left in the half. Washington. Tim puts, how'd he get that ball up there? Washington puts it right over the big boys inside, knocks it down. He's got 14 points. Struss goes to the rack, up and in. I can see how he averages 15 and a half points a game. He's a good offensive player.
He has 8 right now.
38-33, the Vikings lead at 4.5. There's a 3 by Lemaire is good. Daryl Lemaire knocks one down from beyond the arc. Now there's a steal by Gronwald. Vikes the other way. Brody in the lane. Hands off. And I couldn't tell who made that shot. I was screened out. Was that Gronwald or Hickey?
Hickey
made the shot. The pass by Brody Gronwald found Kyle Hickey. And what a flurry by the Vikings. A 3 by Lemaire, then the steal by Gronwald, dishes it off to Kyle Hickey. Now they're saying that shot by Lemaire only a 2.
Yeah, it was a 2.
We gave Daryl a 2, but now we gave him a 3, but they're saying now his foot was on the line. That's okay, though. The Vikings still have a commanding lead. They lead it by 9, 42-33.
Yeah, it was just a 2-pointer at first when they put up a 3, and I think one of the officials said it was a 3, but they sent it out to a 2. 4:16 to go, 42-33. We knew it'd be high scoring, and it definitely is going to be.
How about that play by Brody Gronwald? Brody got the steal, took the ball right down the middle of the lane, found Kyle Hickey wide open on the right side, and dumped it down to him, and Hick laid it in. So.
Well, let's keep it up. Keep up this pace. If they're going to play this pace, the Vikings can play it too.
8 different Vikings have scored in the game so far, so it's been a well-balanced attack for Missouri Valley. Tim Washington leads the way. I've got him at 14 points so far.
You know, everybody like to play. Everybody likes to play this style of basketball.
Oh, I know. This is fun. Kind of fun to broadcast, too.
Tavius Brazil in for the first time for the Vikings.
There's that 2-2-1 zone press. Now inside, Williams. Williams loses the handle. Now to take it away by Gronwald. Here comes Brody, deep 3. Oh, I was going to say, if he hit that one, we'd stop the game. And now Villagrana gets it. Villagrana goes on Washington. Now he's, I thought there was going to be a foul called on Gronwald, but they say Brody got all balls, so a nice block that time by Gronwald. And Aaron Jennings, I think, wants a timeout. So 3 minutes and 51 seconds left in the first half. It's all Vikings right now. The Vikings' biggest lead of the game. They lead it 42-33.
All right, we do have some women's scores from earlier, so here they are. Benedictine beat Central Methodist 76-73, remain undefeated at 5-0. It was Clark defeating Culver 67-49. William Penn over Peru 80-58. Baker beat Avila 73-52. They're still winless. Peru still winless as well. It was Mid-America over Grandview 72-71. That game in Des Moines tonight. And Mount Mercy won here, and then it was Evangel over Graceland 86-81.
You know, both Avila teams seem to really be struggling right now. I think both the men and the women 0-4 in conference play.
Both teams really struggling.
All right, Mount Mercy's ball. The Vikings up by 9. There's a deep 3 by Villagrana. Good. Wow. I love to say that name, kid. Emilio Villagrana buries a 3 off the left baseline.
Pretty good shooter, and all of a sudden it's a 6-point game again.
Vikes need a bucket here. Man-to-man by Mount Mercy. Head of the key to Washington. Washington has it taken away, and there's a pass ahead to C.J. Parker. Parker up off the glass basket and one. As C.J. Parker got out ahead of the pack. raced down the floor. Darryl Lemire tried to catch him, but DL picked up the foul. And that's going to put Parker on the line. He could complete the three-point play. And just like that, a 9-point game down to 4 right now. It could be a 3-point game.
Well, I tell you, a great job by Parker. He used his body to keep Lemire away from him, flipped it up with the left hand, got the roll, and the foul. That was just a heck of a play. He just goes straight to the basket. They may block that shot.
You know, I played quite a bit of basketball. I know you did too, but the way I played, I'd be lost.
I'd be lost out there.
Even in my heyday, would be lost out with these guys.
I'd be at half court when they're coming the other way.
I know it.
Yeah,
Parker,
this is a different brand of ball.
Parker a chance to complete the three-point play here to make it a 3-point game, and he does. So C.J. Parker, he's a senior out of Chicago. And we got what was a 9-point game. It seemed like about 20 seconds ago. Now it's a 3-point game.
Well, I said, these young men, this is the kind of game they like to play, up and down and fast pace. This is fun basketball.
Outside to Washington. He's been hot in the first half with 14 points. Remy Price back in the game. Gets the ball in the right wing. Now lobs it in to Brazil. Now the ball knocked away. Washington retains possession. Misses a shot. Nice rebound by Brazil in there. Hickey back to Brazil. Up and in. Basket at 1. Oh, what a job that time. Give Tavius Brazil. He's a freshman out of Boonville, Missouri. Tavius got the ball inside. Got a couple of offensive rebounds that time. Got the second one, put it in, and a chance for the three-point play. So, nice play by the Frosh out of Boonville.
Foul is on Ford.
And Tavius misses the free throw, but that was a nice bucket. It really brought the crowd to its feet. And it's lead back up to 5 again. Bedford gets it head of the key to Struss. Now to Villagrana. Lob inside. Now take to the basket. That's going to be a foul on Tavius. And I think Tavius thought he got all ball, but they're going to say he grabbed hold of the arm of Chris Brown. So that's going to put Brown on the line for 2 shots here.
Again, this team still struggling from the line. The Vikings just the opposite, doing a great job from the line, so we'll see what happens here. They're only 3 out of 7 from the line right now.
Two shots right here for Chris Brown. He's a senior out of Madison, Florida. He stands in at about 6'4". Crowd trying to urge him on to miss, and the first shot misses.
3 out of 8.
So keep yelling, folks. Boy, they're really struggling from the line. Brown will have one more. He'll try to make it a 4-point game. Second shot, missed them both. Wow. I imagine Aaron Jennings is going to talk about free throw shooting at halftime. Yeah. Down to 2.5 minutes to go. It's a 5-point Viking lead. They've got the ball. Gronwald, high post to Brazil. Gives on the left wing to Remy Price. Price behind the back dribble. And they're going to call an offensive foul. Somebody, is that Kyle Hickey, I think. Yep, the Kyle Hickey runs over Emilio Villagrana. I tell you, Villagrana kind of like a gnat out there, and I mean that complimentary. He's all over the floor, moving all the time, and just kind of always in your face. And that time he got in Hickey's wheelhouse, and Kyle picks up the offensive foul.
Joe, I apologize. I said they were 3 out of 7 for the line. I was looking at the wrong line. They're 2 out of 12.
Yeah.
2 out of 12.
I said I only had him for 2, and now Brown drives inside. Had it knocked away, but it goes off his leg out of bounds. So ball goes back to the Vikings. 2 minutes, 11 seconds left to play. It's a 5-point, 44-39 lead for Missouri Valley. And now Tavius Brazil gets a nice head. He played some big minutes for the Vikings there. First time we've seen him in a conference game. Now Remy Price gets it across the timeline. Remy gets it over to Brody on the left wing. Brody goes baseline, now spins back to the middle. Hands to Remy. Deep, no, Brody fakes a 3. Now pulls up for a shorter jump shot, rolls around the rim and comes up. How did Villagrana go up in that crowd and get that rebound? Nice pass.
Beautiful.
Underneath the Brown, but knocked away. Swatted away, I think, by Romeo Smith. Here comes Remy. Rack coast to coast. Missed it. Rebound. Hickey, good. Nice block that time on the other end by Struss, but Kyle Hickey follows, gets the ball, sticks it back in. Kyle's got 8. Down to a minute 20 to go in the first half. Viking lead back up to 7. Deep three that time taken by Bedford, misses. 1:12 left to play. Vikes can make it a 9, maybe a 10-point game in this possession if they can score. Washington, stop and go. Washington inside, and it knocked away, and they're going to call a foul, I think, on either Brown or Bedford. I think they call it on Brown.
Now they're going to call it on Struss.
Struss? Wow, okay.
So he has 2, so he may come out now.
It's going to put Tim Washington. Tim with 14 points. He'll go to the line for 2 shots here. See if Timmy can knock down a couple. First shot, man, he's done it all here in the first half as Washington, a perfect 5 out of 5 from the line. He's got 15 points.
There's your difference. The Vikings, 9 out of 11 from the line, and the Mustangs, 2 out of 12.
So Washington will have one more as he'll try to extend the lead back up to 9. That was the Vikings' biggest lead. They led by 9 not that long ago. Mount Mercy cut it to 3, but now it's back up to 9 again. Under a minute to go in the half. Williams, wraparound pass into Anderson. Anderson up strong, and that time Jake Anderson used pure muscle inside to take that one in, put it off the glass, give him 7 points in the game. It's a 7-point game, 42 seconds to go. Laquan Turner's checked back in for the Vikings. Over to Gronwald. Brody around the screen, head of the key, hands back to Washington. That's going to be an offensive foul, I think, on Romeo Smith, but I'm not sure. Either Smith or Turner.
Well,
no, they call it
Brazil, looks like.
Call it on Tavius. So Tavius, Brazil. I'm going to quit trying to pick these fouls out. I'm 0 out of my last 3, I think. So Tavius Brazil gets the foul. 7-point game, ball back to Mount Mercy. About a 2-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock right now.
Look at them slow it down. Boy, you don't see this very often.
I wonder if they even know how to do this. Ford outside, guarded by Brody, down to 12 seconds. Ford quickly into the basket. Ooh, man, how do we get away with that? Ford goes right through a double team. He's smiling right now. A lot of contact that time.
I think he's smiling, clapping his hands.
Yeah. He got whacked to the floor pretty good that time.
He did. But the way they're shooting free throws, this may be a benefit to them.
Yeah, we'll take a 3-pointer instead, they're saying.
Because they're 3 out of 8 from beyond the arc, 2 out of 12 from the free throw line.
How does a team that shoots this well hit only 2 out of 12 from the line?
Shooting 64% for the game, 18 out of 28.
All right, 8 seconds left to play, 48-41. The Vikings lead it. Vikings have led almost the entire first half. Trying to win their 4th conference game of the year. We'll be on the road Thursday night. We'll head to Springfield for a doubleheader against Evangel. Lob inside, Williams. Got up high, put it up and in. Boy, the old alley-oop lob pass inside, and that time Williams went up and put it in. There's a shot at the buzzer as Hickey launches one right at the buzzer, hits the front of the rim, and we played the first half. Good first half by the Vikings. They've led most of the way. And as the intermission comes to a close, or the first half comes to a close, the Vikings lead it by the score of 48-43.
We'll be back. We'll talk about stats of this game. We'll also give you some of the statistics of the women's game. We didn't have time to do that earlier, so we'll do that as well. It's all coming up in just a bit.
Okay, so Sarah, I'm dropping you off at Emily's?
Yep.
And Josh, you're going to?
Soccer, Dad. Soccer practice.
Right. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to let you know when I pick you both up, I'll be wearing my short shorts.
What? No!
Yep, and my dorky dad hat, and I'm going to do my dad dance for all your friends. They'll love it!
Seriously? Why?
Because I like my short shorts. Of course, I could be talked out of it if you guys would just buckle up your seatbelts without giving me a hard time.
It's important to get your kids to buckle up for safety, no matter what it takes. And sometimes, all it takes is your parental powers of persuasion.
Okay, we're buckling up.
See, all buckled.
Good choice. I'll just have to do my dad dance at dinner time. What?
No!
Do what you have to make sure your kids are wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
Unexpected reactions to smart financial decisions brought to you by feedthepig.org.
Well, I finally did it. My student loan is totally paid off.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it either. I paid more than the minimum each month, and soon enough, it was gone.
So you're just giving up?
Giving up on what?
The life of luxury. Egyptian cotton, caviar Thursdays, designer everything.
What are you talking about?
Our plan. What happened to winning the lottery and mastering the art of the perfect mimosa? Hosting galas, wearing enough jewelry to require a bodyguard, vacationing in the French Riviera, and then buying it.
I just thought maybe it was time to prepare for my future. You know, set some financial goals, make some smart investments, open a 401k.
Financial goals? Investments? A 401k? You are horrifying right now. Listen, if winning the lottery were easy, everyone would do it.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
All right, we are back. And, Joe, how about some scoring in that first half?
Well, kind of a wild and woolly, very well played first half by both teams. 48-43, the Vikings lead it. Let's look at the individual scoring for the Vikings. First of all, great first half for Tim Washington. Timmy wound up with 16 points. He was 4 out of 6 from the floor, 2 out of 3 from beyond the arc, 6 out of 6 from the free throw line. So good first half for TW that first half. Also in double figures, Brody Gronwald. Brody 2 for 4 from beyond the arc, 2 out of 6 from the field. Again, Brody winds up with 10. 8 points for Kyle Hickey. Kyle had a good first half. 4 points for Devontae Halfacre. Devontae came in halfway. Halfacre came in halfway through the first half and really gave the Vikes a pretty good lift. And then quite a few people with 2 points each. I've got Remy Price, Laquan Turner, Daryl Lemire, Chisholm Obaneki, and Tavius Brazil all had 2 points. So a lot of guys got in the action for the Vikings. For the Mount Mercy Cougars, the Mount Mercy Mustangs, in the game for them, nobody in double figures. 8 points for Ben Struss. He's normally their leading scorer. 7 points in the first half for Jake Anderson. 6 or 7 also looks like for C.J. Parker. 6 each for Derek Gogg, the big man. He got in foul trouble. Also 6 points in the first half for the Mr. Quick, Chris Ford. 5 points for Emilio Villagrana, and 4 points for Josh Williams to round out the scoring.
All right, Mount Mercy shot 65%, 19 out of 29. They were 3 out of 8 from beyond the arc, 37.5%. Vikings shot 50%, 17 out of 34, 4 out of 11 from 3, but their free throw percentage, 83%, 10 out of 12. And we mentioned this, 2 out of 12, only 19%, or make it 17% from the line for the Mustangs, who also turned it over 10 times. The Vikings had 10 turnovers. The rebounds, look at this. The Vikings out-rebounded Mount Mercy 21-12, so Chad has to be happy with that.
Yeah, and I tell you, Mount Mercy's got some big dudes in there. You know, in Kenya, we laughed. For those of you that maybe heard the football broadcast a couple weeks ago, I kept calling St. Francis the Knights. And I'm thinking, well, at Marion, they're the Knights.
The Knights, they're the Knights. The Cougars are the
Cougars from St. Francis. Yep. I kept calling the Cougars the Knights. And but we have played the Knights before. We have played Marion. That was several years ago, and that was quite a game.
Speaking of, in the NAIA football, we're down to the Final Four, and one of the teams is from the Heart of America Conference, the Baker Wildcats. They defeated Lindsey Wilson, Kentucky last Saturday, 42-27. Baker now 13-0 on the year as they defeated Lindsey Wilson 42-27. They'll advance to the semifinals for the first time since the '93 season. Logan Brutell, the quarterback, a strong game, 254 yards passing, 3 touchdowns as well. Again, the Vikings had this team on the ropes. They had to score in the last minute of play, or the Vikings would have knocked them off, and the Vikings would have been at home. So
well, the Vikings scored, if you remember right in that game, I think 21 unanswered points. We were down 24-3, and where we scored 20.
Yep.
Yeah, just 20, and made it 28-24. So, but you know, if St. Francis and Baker would win, I guess it would mean something to say, well, we played the two teams that played for the national championship.
And almost beat Baker. St. Francis put it on Morningside 42-35. They trailed 20-0 in the early second quarter on their home field. They came back and they outscored Morningside 35-15 in the second half, 21-7 in the fourth quarter to win that game. Reinhardt, Georgia, don't know anything about them. They must be pretty good. They're still undefeated, and they down Montana Tech 27-0 to advance to the program's first ever quarterfinal or the semifinals. They will host St. Francis, and then the Baker Wildcats will host Eastern Oregon. They knocked off defending champion Marion 17-0, forcing 7 Marion turnovers, including 6 interceptions. Neither of the Mountaineers' touchdowns were scored by the offense.
I didn't believe that score when I first saw it. I had to go to another source. When I saw it on a second source, then I saw a recap of the game. I thought, well, maybe it happened. But, you know, the way everybody talked, Marion was the class of the country, no doubt about it. And boy, give Eastern Oregon credit. Is this their first trip into the playoffs?
First trip into the
and
playoffs.
They pulled off 2 big upsets, and they're in the national semifinals.
And Marion had never been shut out before that game. So congratulations to Eastern Oregon. They'll get Baker next. They'll be in Baldwin City on Saturday. In women's soccer tonight, Baker defeated William Carey, Mississippi, 2-1. So Baker moves on. And we'll see if we can't get a score off of that Benedictine match as well. Benedictine women played Mobile, Alabama at 6:30. So we probably, we may not have a final on that, but we'll try to get that. Then tomorrow, Columbia College plays Lindsey Wilson at 11. On the men's side, Mid-American Nazarene lost to West Virginia Tech today, 2-1. Grandview playing right now as well. So they are playing Kaiser, Florida, and that is being played at Delray Beach, Florida. So we'll keep you updated on, try to get the scores on those 2 matches. And finally, a little bit of volleyball for you. Mid-American Nazarene is taking part in that. That's going on in Sioux City at the Tyson Center. Nice place there in Sioux City. They and Grandview are the 2 teams representing the Heart of America. Man,
you've done some heavy-duty research over the weekend.
Of research.
While I was sitting there eating all weekend, you had the computer turned on. And
keeping updated. I'm going to try to find those 2 scores for you on soccer. So we'll be back with more. The Vikings lead it 48-43. We're at the half.
Dad, this is fun. I didn't think I liked kayaking.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, but I think it's time to head back in.
Okay. Can we come back?
Sure.
Tomorrow?
Let's check with Mom. Hey, be careful getting out of the boat.
It's a kayak, Dad.
I'm going to return the kayak. Just make sure you have everything.
Yep. Can we walk home?
How about a taxi? 233 North Maple, please.
It's a short fare from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Also, find fun activities to do like boating and biking or camping and hiking, plus much more. It's all right in your naturehood.
Best day ever.
A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
I'm Tiffany. I have some tips for you on how to quit smoking like I did. First, I did some reading about it. I found a lot of great advice on how to quit smoking and picked out the ways I thought would work best for me. I started by setting a quit date. Then I threw out my ashtrays, lighters, and matches. I did other things too, like exercising more, and it worked. But I'd still get cravings, especially on long car rides. To help me with that, I put a picture of my mother in my car. She died of lung cancer from smoking cigarettes when I was only 16. Now I have a 16-year-old daughter. That picture of my mother reminds me that I don't want to miss all the things my daughter is going to do in her life, including turning 17.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
We're back to Grover C. Redford Gymnasium, and Dee Dee McCoy just stopped by. I tell you what, she's a player, isn't she?
Yeah, she had a good game tonight. I think, would she have 20? I don't have it all totaled right here, but I'm totaling it up real quick. Let's see.
20-some points,
Yeah.
I think she had tonight for the women, but boy,
most of them from the free throw line.
Yeah.
She had 5 field goals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got her 19 unofficially. That's just my scribbling sometimes hard to decipher, but I have her at 19.
Yeah, we'll take a look at some of the stats from that women's game. Let's see. Dee Dee on her line tonight as far as the offense is concerned. She had 5 out of 13, 0 for 3 from 3, and nine free throws, 9 out of 12. So she had her 19 points. But in that game, Missouri Valley just shot, and we had Tim Dixon on for a moment, 29.5%. 18 out of 61, 1 out of 19, 5% from beyond the arc. You're not going to win too many ball games shooting like that. You're just not.
Well, and really, and the thing about it is when the Vikings took the ball inside, they had a good size advantage. And really, some girls did a nice job on the inside. I'd like to see how many of their points were scored in the paint. I don't know if you have that stat or not, but I'd
points
say.
in the paint, both teams had 28.
Okay. And would the Vikings have all together? 57.
57.
About half and half.
About half and half, but you also allowed, and I think Weiland was their big player tonight. She came out, hit those threes, and that was different. So they shot 42%, did the Mustangs, 23 out of 55, 8 out of 19, 42% from beyond the arc. Vikings had a big advantage in the first quarter from the free throw line, but in the game, they just shot 69%, 20 out of 29, and Mount Mercy made it a little closer, 63%. So not a very good shooting night for the Vikings. They lose their third straight conference game, their second straight conference game at home. And, Joe, we know from covering this league, if you're going to do anything and you want to get in a good position postseason, you'd better win your games at home.
Oh, you have to, yeah. You want to try to steal a few on the road and hold serve at home. And the Vikes have done a pretty good job of that so far. Their only loss on the road at Grayson, and they did get a big road win up at Peru. That was a huge win because Peru, another team that's their only loss in conference play, I think, so far.
Yeah, and they lost tonight. I think Peru, let's see, Peru.
I mean, the men. I was talking about
on the men, yeah. For the men's team, yeah, they're playing well, 3-1. CMU's at Benedictine tonight. That's a big game. Benedictine 4-0. CMU 3-1. Culver's at Clark. William Penn at Peru. Avila's at Baker tonight, looking for their first win. Mid-America's at Grandview. That'll be a good game. Mount Mercy here in Evangel at Graceland. So, boy, you just look up and down this lineup as far as the men's game. Clark, a new team we haven't seen, 1-3, but forget those records. I think they're going to be a team to be reckoned with as well. This is going to be a tough league as we get before we get to the end of February.
You know, and you kind of wonder, bringing these new teams in, bringing Mount Mercy and Clark, you're thinking, well, will they be up to the caliber of these other teams? But if Clark's anything like this bunch, I think this bunch is going to hold their own with everybody in the conference. I mean, they're very talented. They're going to be a fun team to watch all year.
Now, what's happened this year is a round robin. Next year, you're going to have a North and South division. So we will play all of the teams, but only once. And for another year, you go to Mount Mercy or Cedar Rapids or Dubuque once every other year, whatever the case may be. But this year, it's round robin, playing everybody home and home. So a lot of road games, a lot of good home games, and this thing's going to be fun. Whoever comes out of this thing and wins this conference, they're going to deserve it.
They'll be ready for the national tournament,
I'd say.
But, you know, Aaron Jennings, I think he hit the nail on the head. He said, man, you know, we open up and play this team and that team, and about the fourth game out, I realized everybody in this conference is pretty good. There's no weak, and he complimented the coaches, and I think he's right. There are some very talented coaches, both at the men's and the women's level.
Yep, no question. Some coaches have been around here a long time, and, you know, Chad Lance is one of those. Chad's been here now for several years, and they're getting a lot of respect. They made it into the national tournament a couple of years ago, and so that was a big feather in his cap, and he's a well-respected coach, and he's just one of many in this league. All right, we're about ready for the start of the second half. I don't know, 48-43, quite a first half, and I'm sure we're ready for more fireworks in the second half.
And if you're interested in the rest of the schedules we mentioned earlier, we will be in Springfield on Thursday night. Always a tough battle when you go down and take on Evangel. Then back home again for a good doubleheader Saturday afternoon. The Mid-America Pioneers come in. Then we're off. I guess it's final exams next week. So we're off for most of next week and have our final game before the Christmas holidays a week from Saturday, and that'll be a big one. That'll be the Central Methodist Eagles. We'll play them on the road down in Fayette. So after tonight, 3 big conference games left before the Christmas holidays.
All right, we're ready for the second half as the Vikings lead it 48-43. And they'll start with the same lineup that started the game. And it looks like the same can be said for the Mustangs. Inbounding the ball will be C.J. Parker, and we're underway in the second half. Struss with the basketball. Now top of the key to Chris Ford. Ford, they dump it underneath the Struss. Back out to Ford. Ford around a screen. Drives around Romeo. Leans in, puts it up. Lost the ball, but it's picked up by Gog. Here's a shot from the outside, no good. And the rebound pulled down by Washington as Parker missed the shot. Tim into the forecourt. Gives it off to Remy Price. Remy kind of quiet offensively, just a couple of points in that first half.
Remy
Price
went to the floor pretty hard there at one time.
Hurt his shoulder, and he's holding his shoulder as he came out, but he's back in there to start. And he'll give it off to Washington. Washington around the screen by Collins. Back out front to Price, 8 on the shot clock. Here's Remy, trying to get by Struss. Stops, nowhere to go. Gronwald now, free throw line in the lane. He dumps it down low to Romeo, puts up an off-balance shot as the shot clock buzzer sounded, and he missed it. Struss the other way, bounce pass down to Gog. Gog back out front for Ford. Right back to him. Gog reverse layup. Foul by Romeo Smith.
You know, it's been kind of interesting with Romeo Smith. He's had some big games offensively, and like tonight, he hadn't scored yet in the game. You just never know. That last game out, he scored 13. So
Gog will be at the free throw line. First one is good, and that's a rarity for them to hit a free throw. They were only 2 out of 12 in the first half.
You think maybe they talked about that a little bit at halftime?
Second one by the left-hander's good, and so Gog gets them both, and it's 48-45. Remy Price off to Collins. Bobby gives it off to Washington, left wing. Gronwald pops out high for it. Drives right side all the way to the basket. Now dumps it to Romeo. He loses the handle on it, but the reason he did, someone had grabbed him on the right wrist, and a foul is going to be called. Foul is on Ford, his second. Cheerleaders are here in force. North side. In it comes to Romeo. Back to Price. Price, quick move, nowhere to go. Now a little bounce pass in the lane to Collins. Jump hook, rolls off, no good.
How'd you like to play a pickup game and have Chris Ford and Remy Price guarding you, just alternating back and forth?
It wouldn't be fun. Here's Gog. He gets it inside. He scores. 48-47. First 4 points of the second half belong to the Mustangs. Now Price to Collins. Collins gives it off to Gronwald. Gronwald. Washington top of the key. Around the screen by Collins. Stops. Fakes the shot. Here's Gronwald inside the lane. Little teardrop. Nope, he dumps it off to Smith instead. Tried to jam it. Missed the jam, but was fouled.
Yeah, Romeo's got to get some of those shots in, though. That was a great pass that time by Gronwald, and Romeo went up for the slam and got hammered. He'll have 2 shots. Let's see if he can knock a couple down, and that foul is going to come up on Parker. That'll be his second foul.
Smith played his junior college ball at Kennedy King in Chicago. And his free throw no good. He still hasn't scored.
Come on, Romeo.
And the Vikings have not scored in the first 2 minutes of the second half. Romeo will have another one. This one on the way. Missed them both. And the rebound down to Parker. Ford to Parker. Dumped down low. For the third time in a row, they get it in there. Now to Anderson, and he's fouled. Nice pass from Gog across the lane to Anderson, and he's fouled. They're starting to get that ball inside of the big guys.
Yeah, I think they must have talked about that at halftime. They feel like they can take it into both Gog and Anderson, and they are both pretty good big players. And that's Romeo picks up his third foul, so he'll come out and looks like who went back. I can't see who went in the game right there for him. Was it Bobby Collins, maybe?
Yeah,
no, Halfaker getting ready to go.
Ready to come in. Free throw's good by Anderson. 48 all. It's a 5-0 run to start the second half for the Mustangs. Anderson, 6'6" junior, Mexico, Missouri, by way of Moberly Area Community College, knocks them both down, and he has 9. It's 49-48. Washington, Gronwald fakes the 3, free throw line. Off to Price, out to Washington. Now around to Gronwald, left side. He'll drive in, double team. Shot is blocked, and the rebound pulled down by Gog.
Looked like Gronwald was contacted pretty good there. Looked like a lot of contact.
Struss tries to throw the ball down the sideline, and C.J. Parker cannot come up with it. Turnover, and the ball comes back to the Vikings. 2.5-minute drought to start the second half for Valley. Remy Price, top of the key to Collins, turns. Gronwald out front against the man-to-man defense. Now to Price. Price being guarded by Parker. Drives right side, baseline, dribbles it back out to Gronwald. Gronwald top of the key, 10 on the shot clock. Price, right wing, back out front. He's cut off by Gog. Free throw line, Price will take the shot. It's off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound, Anderson in the lane. He ripped that one down and gives it quickly off to Ford. Ford, 3 on the way. This one is no good. Rebound, Tim Washington. Shot taken by Struss. Washington got the rebound, brings it down. Timeout taken by Chad Lance. Well, we've played over 3 minutes, 49-48. Vikings have yet to score here in the second half, Joe.
You know, Ken, and interesting, Brody Gronwald hit those 3 shots, 2 3-point shots. The first 2 shots he took in the game, I think, and really has not had a basket since that time. He's had 4 free throws, has 10 points, but need to get him hot again. He really buried those first 2.
You can get him. He can really extend. He can really extend a defense. But after those first 2 shots, he's been unable to score. Again, we'll be in Springfield Thursday to take on the Crusaders, and then Saturday back here for Mid-American. Some of you may be listening from Mount Mercy, were talking about earlier an overtime game. It seems like when the Mid-America men and Valley get together, it's overtime. One a few years ago. Was it 4 overtimes in a blizzard here?
Oh, man, I
3
know.
or 4?
Yeah, we had to drive home in a blizzard. I know I told my wife, Candy, I'd be home, the game be over about 6 o'clock. I'll be home about 7. I think I pulled in a little bit before 10.
Before 10. It was a blizzard and 4 overtime.
And who was a young man from Mid-America hit? They said it was his first 3 of the year.
Oh, yeah, it's Garrett was his last name.
Garrett or Garrison? Garrison, I think.
His grandfather and father were NBA officials. Garrettson.
Yeah, I think so.
Garrettson.
Yep.
Gronwald top of the key, off to Hickey, who checked in during that timeout. Now Collins left wing, back out front to Gronwald. Brody's going to drive inside. Teardrop is blocked. Picked up by Anderson. Quickly head to Ford. Here comes Ford. Races in for the lip. Missed it, however. Bobby Collins with a rebound. And they're going to call the foul on Anderson. Wow.
Yeah, I think he backed in. I think he kind of backed into. That's probably a good call. That's a second foul on Jake Anderson.
Boy, Ford was quick, wasn't he?
Yes, he is quick, yeah.
49-48, Mount Mercy with a lead. Vikings looking to get their first bucket of the second half. Price to Hickey, trying to get it into Halfacre. Now free throw line, Collins can't hit it.
Wow. Ice cold right now.
Ice cold, now turnover. Gronwald takes the bad pass, drives in. He's stripped of the ball by Murdoch, but Murdoch fouled him.
A little bit of a delayed call right there, but I think it was a good call. I think Murdoch did get part of Brody's wrist. Kind of a stop-and-go hesitation move by Brody in the lane. And he'll be at the line. He can give the Vikes a lead once again if he can knock down both of these free throws. Vikes trail at 49-48. 16:02 to go in regulation.
Valley averages 78 points a game. Mount Mercy 88. And Brody hits, and that's the first point of the second half. He's still perfect from the line, and we're tied at 49.
If you ask Mount Mercy, what's one thing you don't want on this trip? I think one of their top 10 would be an overtime game.
Yeah, they want to get out of here. Free throw is no good by Gronwald. So here comes Ford. Off to Struss.
Vikes in his zone.
Yep. High post. They'll turn, drive to the basket. A bumping foul as Gog turned to the basket. No one cut him off the free throw line. He just drove to the basket.
That's 3 on Devontae Halfacre. I think they're going to call it on Devontae. They've got, that's 3 on him. Chisholm Obanecki's going to come back in. I think Devontae is going to take a seat.
Obanecki back into the contest. It was not a shooting foul, so the Mustangs will inbound it. Look to get it into Murdoch. Now they get it underneath, kick it back out. Struss wide open, hits the three. Good ball movement. Struss's third triple. He has 11 now.
He's a good player. He averages 15.5 points a game. He's the leading scorer on this team.
52-49, 15:35 to go. Remy Price, free throw line underneath to Collins. Strong move, goes right into Anderson with a little jump hook and scores his first basket.
Bobby not that big, but he did not back down a bit on that time. Took it right to the rack.
Now they try to get it underneath again to Gog, and it's knocked away by Obaneki, out of bounds. You have to watch Mr. Struss as he's lined up on the outside on the right wing. Instead, they'll go out to Murdoch. Murdoch gives it to Struss. Price comes out on him. 52-51, 15 minutes to go. Ford top of the key. Struss thought about the three, now to Ford. Ford thought about it and backs away. Now around a screen by Anderson, double team. Ford in the lane, loses it, picked up by Price. Here comes Price on the run. He's going to take it all the way, misses the layup, and Bobby Collins tried to jam it in, missed it, tips it again. Collins again and scores. Bobby stayed with it. He has 4 now, and it's 53-52. Great hustle by Bobby Collins.
Well, there's some bodies banging around in there that time.
Wow. Now, Collins was hanging on to the rim. The official let that happen because there's so many bodies underneath him. You could do that
and Aaron
if you protected
Jennings,
yourself.
coach of the Mount Mercy Mustangs, very unhappy with that sequence. Very unhappy.
53-52. Vikings lead it by 1 again. C.J. Parker will check in, and Ford's going to leave.
Ford made a bad decision, tried to go through a double team that last possession for Mount Mercy and got stripped, and that led to that flurry, but he's a pretty good player.
14:39 to go, ball back to Mount Mercy. Now they trail by a point. Murdoch out front, back to Murdoch. He's going to launch a three. It won't go. Strong off the back iron, it comes to Price. Price 1-on-4, down the middle, dribbles through traffic, and will bring it all the way back out for Hickey. Now baseline to Collins. Bobby's shot is in and out. Rebound pulled down by the Mustangs, and here they come. They do not waste much time.
Go ahead and say the name as Emilio Villagrani. You got to say that name.
Here's the shot, no good. And Collins with a rebound. He may have been pushed. Villagrana does a good job coming off that bench. He's a good shooter.
They call that foul on Obaneki.
Obaneki, his third.
Now Tavius Brazil, the Boonville freshman, comes back into the Viking lineup. Obaneki will take a seat.
Chad trying to find somebody underneath. Villagrana to inbound into the corner, and the ball knocked away by Collins. Goes out of bounds.
Good job. Good job by Bobby Collins. That's exactly what you tell the defender to do. Cut off the baseline. That's exactly what he did that time.
Villagrana to inbound it. Out top of the key. Gives it off there to Parker. Here's the baseline. Driving in. Off the glass. It rolls in. Bucket good and a foul.
Struss again.
Yep. He's tough. He'll go to the line, try to complete the three-point play. 54-53 Mount Mercy. And that foul is on Brazil. He's picking up as many fouls as minutes. He has 3 now. And another free throw missed by the Mustangs. Struss misses this one, 54-53. Quickly, here's Hickey, drives left side. Double, triple team, but gets it into Collins, who missed the layup. Oh, man, he's right there and missed it. Rebound, Parker. Quickly ahead to Murdoch. Baseline, Struss. Back out front, Parker. Parker. Underneath, off with the left hand, shot is no good. Long rebound comes to Hickey. Hickey working against Murdoch. Back out to Gronwald. Now Price drives right side, leans in for the shot and is fouled. And a technical foul is going to be called as well on Gog.
Yeah, I don't know what he did, but they slapped a tee on him.
Technical foul on Gog. That's 2, so all of a sudden he has 4 fouls.
Coach Aaron Jennings said he wasn't even talking to you, but I think he yelled something out. So I'm not sure he was talking to. But you don't yell that out, so half the gym can hear it. All right, this could be a big possession right here for the Vikings.
And they put to shoot the technical Gronwald. Gets the first
there we
one.
go.
Brody 6 out of 6. 54 all now. Second one is good.
Good job, Brody.
Boy, between Brody and Washington, 13-13 for the free throw line, those two guys.
Now Remy Price, I think Remy's going to have 2 shots, isn't he? I think he's going to have 2. This could be a 4-point possession for the Vikings.
Grunwald hit the technicals. Aaron Jennings standing there.
He's not happy right now.
Long
I'm
trip.
not sure he's going to say Marshall, Missouri is his favorite place to be.
Not right now, it's not. And the foul, yeah, that is 4 fouls on Gog now because he had the personal and the technical.
Yeah. And he's a pretty good player.
Free throw, no good by Remy.
Come on, Remy.
So if they can get out of this with just the 2 free throws by Grunwald, Coach Jennings will be happy.
Remy with only 2 points on the game. Now, after I said that, he'll for sure hit this shot.
But he's on 0 for 1 from the line, just 1 field goal. 13:22 remaining in the game.
Come on, Remy.
It was a shooting foul. I think the officials wanted to make sure that
it was.
Price
No,
was shooting.
that was. I think Gog thought he got all ball, but apparently he got a little bit of the arm too.
Second one by Price rattles in. So he has 3 points. The lead is 2, 56-54. Villagrana across the timeline for Murdoch. Now they work it in the corner. Skip pass. Villagrana takes it underneath. Nice no-look pass. Shot is blocked. Looked like a lot of contact.
That didn't make Coach Jennings any happier right there.
And here come the Vikings. And this one lost by Hickey out of bounds, but it was the last touch by Williams.
You know, they changed the rule. It used to be when you got a technical foul, you got 2 free throws and the ball.
Yep.
They took that and the ball out of it.
Yep. You just shoot the technicals and then you just play. So here's Hickey. Gives it off to Price. Vikings up by 2. Price drives left side, stops, in trouble, lost the ball, picked up by Collins. His little jump hook, good. Collins has 6. 4-point lead for the Vikings, 12:41 to go.
Bobby didn't score in the first half, but he's given this team a big lift. 6 second-half points, as you said. He's hit some big buckets for him.
Villagrana off to Murdoch. Now they're swinging around. There's a shot from the outside that's buried by C.J. Parker. That's a triple. Line drive shot, but it went in, 58-57.
Parker's kind of a very quiet, good player, it looks like to me.
That was a big shot there, Price. The Vikings had all the momentum there. Brazil top of the key. Off to Price, 15 on the shot clock. Brazil drives left side, throws up the shot. It won't go. Blocking foul. He'll head to the line. His bodies hit the floor.
Parker
picks up the foul.
It's his 3rd.
58-57, 12:09 to go.
He's got 3. Murdoch's got 3. Gog has 4, as you said, for the Vikings. Romeo Smith, Obanecki, and Halfacre, and Brazil. All the big guys have 3 fouls for the Vikings.
Wiping up some perspiration underneath the basket before Mr. Price steps to the free throw line.
Remy 1 out of 2 in that last flurry. He needs to get a couple down right here if we can.
58-57, Valley by a point. With 12:09 left in regulation. Remy misses the free throw.
Remy again, the junior out of Chicago, need to get this one down. It's a 1-point game right now, 12:09 left to play.
He went to Morton Community College before coming here. Mr. Ford is back into the game. Remy hits the second. So he is 2 out of 4 from the line. 59-57. We wind down to the 12-minute mark. Murdoch fakes the 3, now drives inside the lane, uses the dribble, has to kick it back out to Ford. Ford on the right wing with the left-handed dribble. Almost stripped by Washington, gets it back, gets the ball back, and now is stripped. Good job by the Viking defense. Collins into the corner to Hickey. Hickey slows everything down, gives it off to Price. 11:36 to go. Price top of the key. Drives through traffic all the way to the basket with the right hand from the left side, scores. He says, I'm quick as well. That's 6 for Price.
That was a very quick move that time by Remy. Went right around the defense and laid it in.
61-57. Now the Vikings take it away. Again in the lane. That's twice that Williams has lost the ball. Here comes Washington. Now he throws it away. As he tried to get it to Collins.
You know, Ken and Tim Washington, 16 points in the first half. They've held him scoreless here in the second.
61-57, 11-12 to go. This has been a rough, physical, fast-paced game. Ford quickly gives it up to Murdoch. Back to Ford. Ford swings it around. Driving to the basket. Little teardrop from the baseline is good by Struss. He's a good player.
Was that a nice touch on that shot or what?
61-59. Came in from the side. You can't use the glass, and he just dropped it in nicely. Here's Washington. Lost the dribble. Picks it back up. Gives it off down to Price. 2-point game. Vikings with the lead. 10:43 to go. Price spins right side off the glass. Missed it. Rebound. Fought for. Loose on the floor. Who's got it? Finally, C.J. Parker. Parker to Ford. Ford wants to run.
There are some athletes on the floor.
Yes, there are. Ford off to Parker. Long three for the lead. In and out. Rebound, Murdoch. Murdoch kicks it back out to Parker. Big rebound by Murdoch. Fresh 30 on the shot clock. 61-59. Work it down low to Murdoch. Murdoch nowhere to go. No look pass. Tried to get it to Struss. Taken away by Washington. Length of pass down to Collins. He jams it. Good job by Washington to get the steal. The length of the court pass to Collins, who knew what to do with it. He jammed it.
You know, Ken, you talk about like some bad passes that time by Mount Mercy, but these guys are so quick. The Vikings are very quick on defense. They've got quick hands. They got quick feet. It's not these guys are necessarily making bad passes. It's just the defensive guys are making some big plays.
63-59, exactly 10 minutes to go in this ball game. Boy, it'd be nice for the Vikings to get this one to go 4-1 in the league, Joe.
Well, you know, you figure it's a big game for the Vikings. You don't want to lose a home game. They'd love to stay amongst the leaders at 4-1. It's a real big game for Mount Mercy because they don't want to go 1-4 in conference play.
And that's what would happen if they would happen to lose this game. Vikings fighting for every point here. They had 48 at the half, so it's been a struggle. Only 15 points to this second half.
Kind of wondering, what are they going to do this year for a conference tournament? Do you know?
I don't know how many they're going to add. Probably have a couple play-in games.
They got, what, 14 teams?
Yeah, I think in soccer they added a play-in game, so I'm not sure what they're going to do with the conference tournament. We'll have to find out. Here's Struss to inbound the ball. It's a 4-point lead. I'll have an answer for you that by Thursday.
Well, I don't want to put you on the spot.
Struss works it to Parker. Skip pass. Shot on the way. Missed it. Rebound pulled down by Gronwald. As that shot was missed by Sean Bedford. Gronwald the other way. Brody hit those 2 threes. Have been his only field goals of the day, and here's a travel on Hickey.
Just ever so slightly, but Kyle shuffled both feet before he put the ball on the deck, and you see that so many times with good offensive players.
So the ball comes back to the Mustangs.
These next 3 or 4 minutes are going to be huge.
Yep. 9:36 to go. Here's Ford. Off to Struss. Back to Bedford. Bedford to Struss on the wing right side. Out front to Anderson. Ford's going to try an outside shot. It's long. Rebound, Obanecki. Hands to Gronwald. Both teams slowing down the offensive pace now. Here's Brody left side. Cut off by Bedford. Hickey top of the key. 19 on the shot clock. 9:05 game clock. Hickey, skip pass. Off to the left to Lemire. Lemire around the screen by Obanecki. Nowhere to go with it. Almost lost it out of bounds. He's going to crank a 3.
Yes, yes.
Almost lost the dribble. He said, I'm going to shoot it. He knocks it down. That's 5, and it's 66-59.
Right in front of the Viking bench. Couldn't find a better place to shoot.
And now a timeout taken by Mount Mercy. While we have this timeout, give you some of the numbers. The Vikings now shooting 43%, 22 out of 51 Mount Mercy, Joe, still shooting 54.5%, 24 out of 44. So they're lighting it up, just not taking that many shots. They're 5 out of 15, however, from 3. The Vikings 4 out of 11. Free throws, 15 out of 22 of the Vikings, 6 out of 17. That's where the Mustangs have hurt themselves. 6 out of 17 from the free throw line.
I tell you, Ken, I'm more impressed with this Viking team every time I watch them play. I don't think anybody in this conference is going to embarrass this team. And, you know, we go down to Springfield Thursday night, and I'm really looking forward to that Mid-America game back here at home on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, these are 2 games. We'll know a lot before we go to Christmas break. We'll know a lot because we have Evangel, Mid-America, and
Central Methodist.
Yeah. Three of the top teams year in, year out in this conference. So we'll know a lot about this team. 66-59, Vikings by 7, 8:45 left.
And who can forget that Central Methodist game last year down? Remember one of their guys hit a shot at the buzzer. Couldn't tell for a while whether it was good or not, and then they finally counted it.
And then they won here. Didn't they win here?
Hit one here on a shot right in that corner. That corner right to our right.
Men and women. Into the corner. That's the shot right there from the corner. It goes in again.
No sooner said.
Tanner Frazier buries it. So that's his first bucket. Big one, 66-62. Here's Growell.
There we go.
He gets it.
Yes.
It wasn't all nothing but net, but he hit the front, hit the back, and it went in. 69-62.
That wasn't vintage Brody Growell, but we'll take it.
Here's the pass underneath. Nice pass to Williams. Reverse layup, blew it. Oh, my goodness.
He's having a rough game.
Wide open underneath. We missed the reverse layup. Growell drives left side all the way to the basket, throws it up with the right hand, won't go. Rebound pulled down by Williams. Here comes Ford on the run through traffic. Woo, all the way to the basket.
Wow.
He lays it in and is fouled. He is fast. I mean, he changes directions in a blink. 69-62. Basket is good, 69-64. And Ford to the line. He can change direction in a hurry.
Yes, he can. And I think that foul, that's going to come up on, is that Obanecki?
Yeah,
that'd be his fourth. It is, yep.
So he's out. Romeo's back in the game, Romeo Smith. Let's see if Ford can complete a three-point play. And he cannot. The free throw woes continue for this team, 69-64. They're now 6 out of 18 from the line.
They're going to put Gog back in. He's got 4 fouls. I think you got to have him on the court if you're Mount Mercy, though.
Williams, whistle away from the ball. Foul is on Josh Williams, who Josh saying, man, I can't hit a bucket. Now I get a foul away from the ball.
Should be a 1-and-1. That's the 8th team foul on Mount Mercy. That's going to put Romeo on the line for a 1-and-1.
Gog will check in. He has 10 points, 4 fouls. He got a personal and a technical. Romeo Smith to the line. Romeo looking for his first point of the night.
Come on, RS.
And he
gets it.
There
we go.
Knocks that free throw down, his first point. 70-64. Thomas Dillard in now.
Coach Chad Lance said Romeo starts hitting free throws, I'll start feeling good.
There you go, and he hit the first one. See if he can knock down another one. Collins getting ready to come back in. Bends at the knee and misses the second one. Rebound Ford, and here he comes. 1 on 3, so he backs it out. Now kicks it around. They lob it back down low into the corner. 3 on the way. This one no good. Tip up, no good. Another offensive rebound.
Tanner Frazier. He's had a couple big plays.
Now back out to Ford. They'll reset. 7:14 to go. 6-point Viking lead. Dillard into the corner. 3 on the way. This one won't go.
Ooh.
Good rebound for the Vikings. Tim Washington.
Looked like he got fouled by Ford to me. I thought Ford whacked him on the back on that rebound.
Hickey to Growell. Growell out front to Hickey. Now to Washington. Washington's open for a 3. Nope, not this time. And Gog with a rebound. He took that one away from Lemire, threw a little elbow and got away with it. Boy, they're going at each other. Here's Ford out to Dillard. Dillard to Ford. Back top of the key to Dillard. now whistle away from the ball, and they're finally going to get Lemire. They're going to get one of the two fouls.
Lemire and Gog are going at it pretty big there.
And Darrell's going to be called for the foul.
That's going to be a 1-and-1.
So Gog will be at the line. So they kept going at it. I think Gog threw a kind of a small elbow, and then Lemire a little push, and finally when they got on a low block, something was going to happen. That's the third foul on Lemire.
Darrell says, this is our gym. He's not going to push me around in here.
There you go. Remy Price ready to come back in. Free throw is good. And Gog now has
Gog's
11
one guy.
points.
He's hit 4 out of 5. If it wasn't for him, their percentage would really be horrendous.
They'd be in trouble. 70-65. Next one by Gog is good. He hits them both. So Gog keeping his team in there from the free throw line. And here comes Gronwald underneath to Romeo. Smith, nice baseline move. Jump hook with the left hand, no good.
Got to use the backboard, Romeo.
Parker with a rebound. Here come the Mustangs. Top of the key to Parker. It's a 4-point game. Parker open for 3. It's a 1-point game. Parker buries his second triple. 70-69. 6 minutes to go.
I think C.J. Parker, again, maybe the unsung hero on this team.
Pretty good player. It's not one you would say, hey, he's your best player, but he does a lot of things well. Here's Tim Washington. He'll try for the free throw line. It rattles home.
Yes.
Washington, one-on-one, free throw line, knocks it down, 72-69. Dillard underneath. Nice move again, blocked by Romeo. Picked back up, and now it's thrown away. Monk threw it away. Here comes Price on the run, right side on Dillard, layup good. Price took it right at Dillard, laid it in. Now another steal by Gronwald, puts up the shot, it won't go, but he's fouled, he'll shoot. Price with a bucket, a steal by Gronwald, and he's heading to the line, 74-69. Boy, nice flurry there.
Yes, that was. Boy, the Vikings, I tell you, they're leaving it all out on the court here tonight. They're going to be some tired puppies after this game.
Gronwald at the line, 7 out of 8 from the line.
Brody.
That one's short, 74-69. Timeout taken by Aaron Jennings. He wants a 30-second timeout. So we'll just tell you that some of the numbers now as we take a look at those percentages with 5:20 to go for the Vikings right now. They're shooting a good 45%, 26 out of 58. 53% Mount Mercy, 27 out of 51. There's a lot still going on in this ball game tonight, folks. 5:20 to go, 74-69. We'll be in Springfield on Thursday, 5:30 and 7:30 webcast, audio only. And then we'll be back here for audio and video on the Viking Sports Network Saturday afternoon, 2 and 4. Mid-American Nazarene will be in. 5:20 left, 74-69. Gronwald missed the first free throw. He will have another one. And Brody gets the second one to go. He's 8 out of 10 from the line, 75-69. 5:17 left. Here's Parker out front. Now they give it underneath to Gog. Outside shot, no good. Rebound, Tim Washington. Washington wants to hustle up across the timeline now. He'll slow it down. 75-69. Remy Price drives right side all the way to the basket. It's blocked from behind by Gog. Back out to Washington. Washington with 14 on the shot clock. Fadeaway baseline, no good. Rebound Parker. Parker quickly gives it off to Murdoch. Into the forecourt, back to Parker. Parker to Murdoch, top of the key. Now they work it to Dillard. Down low to Mogg. Gog turns inside the lane with a right hook. It's blocked by Romeo Smith. Picked up by Collins. Collins off to Gronwald. Gronwald inside the lane. Nowhere to go. Romeo with a big block there. Price through traffic at the free throw line. 4:20 to go. 18 on the shot clock. Washington to Bobby Collins. Now to Price. 13 on the shot clock. Gronwald long three, top of the key. No, in and out. And the rebound is pulled down by Gog.
That would have been big if that one would have gone.
75-69, 4 minutes to go. Here's Dillard. Out front, Murdoch. Murdoch to Mogg. Mogg, they double team it. Washington takes it away. And they're going to call Mogg with the foul. They're going to call Washington with a foul, I think. Or Mogg. Oh, they called on Mogg.
He's gone. He's gone. That's it for him.
Washington just took it away from him. And then Mogg reached and fouled him. So Gog is out of here with 12 points. And so that brings Struss back in. He's been out for a while. 3:54 to go, 75-69. Boy, these free throws are big now.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, and Tim Washington's had a big game. He's got 18 in the game. Come on, Tim.
First free throw.
Come on, Timmy.
Good.
Come on.
You have another one, but you have to hit your free throws.
Had a big game tonight. Finish it off. Yep.
It's a two-possession game with 3:54 left. Next one by Washington. Missed them both. And the rebound, Parker.
That hurt.
Six-point
that hurt right
game.
there.
Couple big possessions coming up here. Struss with the basketball. Gives it off to Parker. Now around to Ford on the wing. Back out to Parker. He's hit a couple of threes. He'll drive right side. Fouled on the floor. And the foul is on Collins.
Yep. It's only Bobby's second.
Second?
There's third.
Yeah, third
yes,
foul
okay.
on Collins. So that puts Parker at the line. And he will shoot a 1-and-1 as that was the 18th foul on Valley. Parker 1 out of 2 from the line. Missed it. Lane violation on Parker anyway.
All right, we'll take it.
So their Achilles heel tonight has been the free throw line. Well, they are 8 out of 21. 75-69. Price hands to Gronwald. 3:30 to go. Romeo Smith gives it off to Price on that right wing. Out front to Gronwald. Now to the left side to Washington. Lob it down low to Romeo. Smith turns, travel. Working on Jake Anderson. They said he shuffled the feet. And Chad Lance nods and said, yes, you did. 75-69, 3:19 to go. Ford. Spin move, top of the key.
Get on Struss.
Off to Struss.
Get
Struss
on
around
in.
the screen. Cut off by Smith. Back into the corner. Back to Struss. He'll take it down the middle of the lane. He's fouled, and he'll shoot free throws. Let's see who they call this one on. John Romeo, number 4.
This will be only Struss' only second trip to the line tonight. I've got him at 0 out of 1 so far.
3:04 to go, 75-69. Devontae Halfaker will come in for Romeo Smith.
Both teams will be in the double bonus from here on out, so all fouls will be 2-shot fouls with just over 3 minutes left in the game.
Struss connected on the first one. Connects on the second one. 75-71, 3:04 to go. Here we go. Remy Price off to Collins. Collins, little weave out front to Washington. Washington drives down and an offensive foul on Halfaker, I think.
If he did, he fouled out of the game, I believe. Or is that? That's his fourth, I guess. That's only 4 on him.
75-71. It's the fourth on Halfaker. So, Mallett will inbound it. Vikings haven't scored in a while. Here comes Ford. Off to Struss. Struss will drive left side. Off the glass. Missed it. Rebound. Pinballing around the lane. It finally comes down to Remy Price. And Price will bring it into the forecourt. We got away with one there. Struss missed a shot off the glass. Gronwald looking in for Halfaker. Now to Washington in front of Chad Lance. Back out front to Price. 2:30 to go. 75-71. Gronwald to Price. 12 on the shot clock. Price. Gronwald drives left side baseline. 7-footer. No good. He's knocked to the floor. No call. Picked up by Struss.
Yeah,
Ahead
quite
to
a bit of contact there.
Ford to Struss. Into the corner. Mallett lobs it underneath to Anderson. Boy, they had a hold of his arm and no call. We got away with one there. Looked like Collins had his arm showing.
Well, Rodewald got fouled on the other end, I believe.
Oh, boy. Anderson went up with a shot, and he couldn't raise his right arm.
Yeah.
We'll take it. Away we go the other way. 75-71, 2:03 to go.
You know, though, you can sit there and knock the officials all you want. This is tough to call. I mean, these guys are so quick. They've got quick hands. They're both teams really hustling on defense.
Yeah.
It's just, you got to let them play.
There's some big bodies out there, too. This is a tough game. Vikings now shooting 42%, 26 out of 72, 50% for Mount Mercy, 27 out of 54. 2:03 to go. What's going to happen in the next few possessions?
You know, and how about heading down to Springfield on Thursday night? What memories we have there. Remember DJ Jenkins banking that one in from midcourt to win the girls' game about 4 years ago. And then 2 years ago, how about the Vikings going down and upsetting Evangel in the championship game of the Heart of America postseason tournament? So we've got a lot of memories in that place.
And the Vikings went on that year, won a game in the national tournament in Kansas City at Municipal Auditorium.
Remember we were talking at that time, well, the Vikings, even if they don't win the tournament, should get in to be the third seed out of the Heart of America. What'd they do? Just won the whole thing.
They said, we'll just go on the road and win 3 games, which they did.
Beat Mid-America to Thriller, beat number 2 Benedictine on the road, and beat number 1 Evangel on the road.
Beat Mid-America here and then went on the road and won 2. 75-71, 2 minutes to go, several possessions left. Remy Price. Vikings have 20 on the shot clock, 1:59 game clock, and a 2-possession game. Hickey, top of the key. 1-on-1. Behind the back with the dribble. Free throw line, puts it up, 15-footer, won't go. Rattles in and out. Rebound Price, and he'll get out of the lane. Back to Gronwald, and Brody says, we'll take some more time off the clock. Down to a minute 40 to go. Gronwald dribbling the basketball, backs away. Now works that right side. Minute 32 to go. Here's Gronwald underneath. May have gotten away with a walk. Washington, the corner for 3, won't go.
Oh, that'd have been big if he'd have hit that.
Rebound Parker. 1:22 left. Here's
4-point game.
Ford into the forecourt. 1:17 left. Ford stops. Works it to the right side. Now they go baseline to Parker. Back to Ford. Ford inside the lane. Teardrop. Good 2-point game. Ford scores. He has 10, 75-73. He might have gotten away with a little push to clear some space, but what a move.
This team just won't go away, will
Wow. What a move by Ford.
Yeah.
Boy, if Washington could hit that 3.
Yeah, that'd have been big. If he'd hit that 3, there was one before that. I think Brody missed one, too. If either one of those shots would have gone, that would have been huge.
Well, the Vikings put up 48 points in the first half. Right now, they're 29 in 27. 27 is all in this half. So the scoring pace is slowed down a little bit. A timeout taken by Aaron Jennings as his Mount Mercy team down by only 2 with 1:05 to go. Boy, if the whole season's going to be like this, we're in for a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll tell you, and it looks like Mount Mercy, from what I've seen from both their men and their women, they're going to be a welcome addition to the conference.
I'll tell you, some good basketball.
Both coaches that I met tonight, very nice people, very gracious. Yeah, as most of the coaches in this conference are. Most of them are more than glad to talk to you and, give you whatever time you need.
So here we go. Vikings will have it. Each team will have at least one more possession. A minute 5 to go.
I bet these officials are going to be tired after this game.
Game.
There are 3 of them, but they're doing a lot of moving, a lot of running out there.
Tough game to call.
Yeah.
Into Price, and here we go. We're down to 1 minute as he'll approach the timeline with a 2-point lead. Price gives it off to Collins. Collins off to Hickey. Hickey, top of the key. Swings it back to Price. Price around the screen by Romeo. Drives all the way to the basket. It's blocked from behind by Anderson. And now out of bounds. It'll belong to the Vikings with 14 on the shot clock. Wow. Anderson reached out, blocked the shot. They couldn't come up with it. They're going to say the ball I guess they're going to say the ball was in the possession of the Vikings.
Good break for the Vikings.
They're going to say the ball was in possession of the Mustangs, I guess.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. I believe they've got 30 seconds on the clock. Under a minute to play, 49.3 seconds left.
So the Mustangs had possession before they lost it. Price into the corner. Gronwald, teardrop in the lane. He can't get it. Rebound, Anderson, and he's fouled by Romeo Smith.
Romeo just fouled out of the game. No, that's only, is that 4 on him?
I think that's 5.
Yep, that's 5 on Romeo.
Only 1 point tonight for Smith. Gronwald not taking probably a real well-advised shot, and Chad not happy with his senior. 75-73, 45.1 seconds to go.
Well, Anderson, I've got him at 3 out of 4 from the line.
He's a good free throw
3 out of
shooter.
5. 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5 from the line. Let's check out his numbers for the season. For the season, Anderson is he's only a 54% free throw shooter.
Yeah, might be a good guy to have on the line. We'll see. This will be a 2-shot situation here.
45 seconds remaining. Anderson pounds the ball. Junior out of Mexico, Missouri. Got it. Boy, he puts a lot of arch on those
He does.
free throws.
He does. I tell you, Mexico's had some good basketball
over the
players
years.
down through the
boy.
years, all the way back to Cookie Belcher and
Jared Thompson and
Diedrich
Marcus
Harrington.
Belcher, Diedrich Harrington. For the tie. Folks, we're tied. Anderson hits them both. 75 all, 44 seconds remaining. Price will walk it up. Let's see. I think the Vikings want a timeout.
Good timeout by Coach Lance.
38 on the game clock, 24 on the shot clock, tied at 75. Well, what do you do, Joseph?
Well, I think if you're the Vikings, I think you got to get, I like the idea of having Brody Gronwald penetrate and then dish off. They're not going to let him have a 3. So I think you got to get the ball to either Brody or Tim Washington. And, I mean, Washington's had a quiet second half, but he's had a big game, 18 points in the game. And I think one of those two things, either try to free Washington up for some kind, or you could let Remy Price drive down the middle, let Remy try to drive. And, when the little guys drive down the middle, they don't have to shoot the ball. They can draw the double coverage and find somebody open. So I think that's probably what's going to happen. They're going to give it to Remy and maybe let him try to make something happen.
Well, here we go. Aaron Jennings has talked to his team about defense. Remember, Gog is out of the game. So they inbound it to Remy Price. 21 on the shot clock, 35 game clock. Tie game, 75. Price dribbles between the legs, top of the
They're
key.
going to let him try to create something, it looks like.
Working by 4. Down to 10 now on the shot clock. He backs away. Here he comes. Gives it off to Gronwald. Long, high arching 3 is no good. Rebound fought for. It's picked up by Ford. Loses the ball out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball.
And now the Vikings can play for the last shot.
Ford had it, couldn't hang on. Halfacre, give him credit. He battled for the loose ball, and Ford couldn't control it. Tough shot by Gronwald.
Yeah, it was. Seen him hit that many a time, though.
Let's see if the Vikings want a timeout here. 16.2 seconds to go. Vikings are going to use a timeout here.
Folks, I tell you, win, lose, or draw, you got to get out. If you're in the area, you've got to get out and watch this team play. They're very exciting. We've had 2 barn burners the last 2 games. The Vikes pulled that one out against Baker a week ago tomorrow, and then this one's going right down to the wire, too.
75 all. Vikings 36 out of 67, 39%. Mount Mercy 51%. So both teams still doing all right from the field. The Vikings have cooled off somewhat. Here we go. Vikings can work for the last shot now. 16.1 seconds remaining.
Well, if we hit one, we go home happy. If we don't, maybe maybe Mount Mercy will get their wish, an overtime game.
An overtime game and just a few more minutes. 75 all, 16.2 seconds remaining. Boy, for a moment after that missed shot, Ford had the ball, but he couldn't hang on to it.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. So here we go. Anderson hit 2 big free throws to tie this game. He's back on the floor. They take Struss out right now.
You do the same
Struss
thing.
is in there.
You let Remy try to create something
I think
here.
so now. You definitely want the last shot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You don't want to force anything unless you get a wide open layup.
Hickey will inbound in the corner. Gets it into Gronwald. He still has to get it in and almost throws it away and does throw it away. Now it's taken by Price. He loses it at a timeout taken by Mount Mercy. Price lost the ball. It's taken by Struss.
Coach Chad Lance wants a foul. He thought Price was fouled, I believe, but no call. So we got 11.7 seconds left. And wow.
Well, they had the inbound from the corner.
Yeah.
And it took Hickey almost the entire 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Then he got it in. And then Price had it knocked away, got it back. Then there was a scramble for it. Price went to the floor. The ball wound up in Struss's hands. And now they call a timeout with 11 seconds
I thought it was going to be a 5-second call.
Yeah,
I was afraid that was going to
too.
happen.
Yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't a 5-second call. If it wasn't, it was very close. So
okay,
now,
guys, boy, this is what it's all about, I guess.
about 25 to 10 Central Time. 11.7 seconds remaining.
I tell you what, this is going to be a tough game for either one of these teams to lose.
Yes.
They both played very hard. They both played their guts out. The Vikes have led most of the way, but give Mount Mercy credit. They would not go away. They battled right up to the end, a long way from home.
70, it was 48-43 at the half. All right, it's Washington, Gronwald.
I think
Collins,
the Vikes led by
Price.
as many as 8. I think that's been the biggest lead. I don't think either team's ever had a double-digit lead.
And I would not be surprised. You remember, Gog is fouled out. He would be an option.
Better guard Struss.
Better guard Struss
Yeah,
or
Parker.
Anderson underneath.
And Parker, don't count Parker out either.
Parker will inbound it. Vikings will put some pressure on it about mid-court. They give it into Ford. Here we go. 10 seconds to go. Ford working against Price. Around a screen by Anderson. Double team. Here comes Ford. Right to the rack. Puts it up and can't get it. Tipped in by Anderson with 1.4 seconds to go. Ford got it. Here's Washington along 3. It's no good. And the Mount Mercy Mustangs come in and they knock off the Vikings 77 to 75. They got it to Ford. He drove right side, missed the shot, but coming from the weak side was Anderson. He laid it in with 1.4 seconds to go.
Well, I'll tell you, Anderson, I don't say he had a big game, but boy, he sure came up big down the stretch. He hit those 2 free throws to tie it. In fact, I think he scored the last 4 points of the game, the 2 free throws, and then that stick back. So, yep, tough one to lose.
Tough one to lose. Let's take a break. We'll be back.
Everyone would do it.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Dad, this is fun. I didn't think I'd like kayaking.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, but I think it's time to head back in.
Okay. Can we come back
Sure.
tomorrow?
Let's check with Mom. Hey, be careful getting out of the boat.
It's a kayak, Dad.
I'm going to return the kayak. Just make sure you have everything.
Yep. Can we walk home?
How about a taxi? 233 North Maple, please.
It's a short fare from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Also, find fun activities to do like boating and biking or camping and hiking, plus much more. It's all right in your naturehood.
Best day ever.
A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
Boy, some games are tougher than others, Coach Chad Lance. This is one of those tough ones. You had kind of seemed like you had it under control, and some tough possessions there at the end.
Well, tell the tape is the free throw line. We shot terrible from the free throw line, first off. Second off, we just talked about in there, make sure that we box out. The shot went up, and we didn't even attempt to box out.
And then you had the possession in the corner, and there was a lot of contact there, but kind of a rough physical game. But you're right. I talked about on that last, when they had the ball, I said, watch for Anderson. He came from the weak side, and you're right, had it, and that's tough, and it was too easy a look, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a wide open look. The shot came off the rim, and we didn't have one guy jump for the ball.
Coach, positives in this game. I thought in the first half you really went at it. I thought that was a heck of the first half.
We did some okay things in the first half, and then we came back out. But they shot 65% in the first half. So this was a defensive game. We didn't defend well, and then late down the stretch, we just We just didn't do what we needed to do.
Yeah, you're right. Free throws, you started off so hot at the free throw line, but boy, and I even said something to Joe, when you miss, even if you have that 4-6 point lead and you miss a couple free throws, you go, man, they have to come back and haunt you, can't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Look at the percentages. The Vikings shot 39%, 26 out of 67. They shot 51%. Coach, you're still 17 out of 28, but from the line, but most of those were in the first half. Turnovers, they had 22, you had 14. Rebounds about even. I'm telling you what, if this is what this entire conference is going to be this year, we're in for some battles, Coach.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a good league, and you got to play your best night in, night out, and we just didn't.
Coach, you go on the road Thursday. It doesn't get any easier, does it? We go to Evangel and then have Mid-America here, a team we usually have overtime games with. But you've got a couple days to get this team ready. That's the thing about basketball. You got to turn right around and get them ready to go again, don't you?
Yeah, we do. Quick turnaround.
All right, Coach. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Appreciate it. As Coach Chad Lance comes by, and it's a tough loss. There's no question about that, as they lose this one 77-75. And Joe, just what Coach said there on his post game, he said in that timeout, when they lost the ball, they said, make sure you rebound. They watched Ford, and he missed the shot. Nobody got a body on Anderson, laid it in, and that was it. How about the scoring before we wrap things up?
Well, this is a tough one. Because the Vikes led, I'd say the Vikings led 90% of the game. You know, they really in control good part of the way, but give Mount Mercy credit. They come back. Look at it scoring. Good game for Tim Washington. Tim with 18 points, 16 of those points in the first half. But he winds up with 18, 17 for Brody Gronwald. They're the only Vikings in double figures. 8 points in the game for Kyle Hickey. Then it drops down to 5 for Darryl Lemire. Looks like also 8 for Remy Price. I forgot him the first time around, as I did Bobby Collins. So Collins and Remy Price each with 8. 4 points for Devontae Halfacre. 5 points in the game for Darryl Lemire. As I said, 2 points each for Beckley O'Nick, or it was Chisholm Obanecki. And Tavius Brazil, the youngster out of Boonville, 2 points for Laquan Turner, and then 1 free throw for Romeo Smith. 5 players in double figures for Mount Mercy. Wow. So they got some real balance. 19 for Ben Struss, 13 for C.J. Parker, 12 points for Derek Gogg before fouling out, 11 for Jake Anderson, including the game winner, the last 4 points of the game, and 10 points for the point guard Chris Ford. Then 5 points for Emilio Villagrana, 4 points for Josh Williams, 3 points in the game for Tanner Frazier, and I think that's it. So really 5 guys did most all the scoring for the Mustangs. On the game, it looks like that Mount Mercy was 20. Looks like they were 29 out of 57 shots. It looks like to me 29 out of 57. So that's over. That's 50.9%. The Vikings, here's a story, only shoot 38.8%. They were 26 out of 67. So they actually got more shots, but just couldn't get them to fall. But tough loss, but the team played well. This team, again, Ken, is going to be very exciting this year.
All right, here are the scores real quickly. The men's games tonight. Central Methodist knocks off Benedictine 81-78, their first loss. It was Clark over Culver Stockton 83-67. William Penn knocked off Peru 89-81. Baker over Avila 87-60. Mid-American Nazarene loses at Grandview. It's 88-84. And then it was Graceland over Evangel 78-70. So it's going to be wild, and we had this one tonight. Joe, we'll see you we'll pick you up, and we'll head to Springfield on Thursday, back home Saturday. 2 fun games this week.
Yeah, and I'm sure Springfield, that'll be one more late night on the agenda.
Well, let's see what we can do. Tough one tonight. The Vikings lose it by 2. Good trip for Mount Mercy. They win them both in their first trip to Marshall. For Joe All and for all of our crew upstairs, Chaz Maddie and his entire crew, I'm Ken Cuiava. And also want to remind you this broadcast copyrighted by us Communication Department of the Communications, Humanities, and Human Service Division of Missouri Valley College for the private use of the audience. Any retransmission by the use of the content of the broadcast without the express written consent of Missouri Valley College is prohibited. So long from Marshall.